So today, I took the initiative to go and walk around and, talk to my constituents, customers that I have, I see them often. So I walked around and we went up and down Spruce and had this Biden petition, signed. Council put out a resolution saying that they want to rename the expressway and they want to rename the expressway.
What part of the expressway?
All of it from exit 185 down to the corner of Jefferson.
So basically off of 81,
Off of
all the
81,
way through
yes.
back to 81, going to Dixon City.
No, I think
No.
before you get to Jefferson, right?
Just
It's
Jefferson.
Gonna stop. It's going to stop
to
at Jefferson.
to the red light at Spruce and Jefferson, Route 11, or State Route 11. State Route 11 cuts over Jefferson, down Mulberry, onto the Joseph McDade Expressway. We're between two Joes. So
Right by the Radisson.
No, the other way. Down by across the U, Elm Park Church, all that, and then down Colonnade, Scranton Club.
Oh, wait, that whole turn?
Well, that's Route 11. They're going to
Okay,
go
I didn't know
exit
that.
185 and stop at the light. Except part 2 is they want to rename Spruce Street because it's not a state route. It's easier to, within a city, it's easier to rename, something that's not a state route. So we talked to everybody, RSDs, independents, everybody, business owners who, are vested in the city. And they're like, why? Why are we going to spend the money? Why are we going to do this? Why are we just, pissing away money?
Well, what are the costs associated with it?
Well, so while we were at Guy's Barbershop, we talked to Damian Biacarelli and Sean, and we kind of, ripped through it and saw there's about at least 30 street signs. And street signs aren't that expensive. Maybe, 20, 30, 40 bucks. I don't know. We probably do them for like 15.
They're all made at the prison.
No, they're made at DPW.
I don't know if they get them for a nickel. I don't know.
They're made at DPW, but DPW is union, and we're a union print shop. I like unions, But to hang 30 signs, on average, how long do you think it's going to take?
Well, labor and material.
Well, forget material. Material we know, but labor. Like, are they going to hang one an hour? Are they going to hang one every half hour?
I guess for me, my big question is,
Yeah.
don't you normally wait until after somebody has served their term
Well, that's
before
a
you
lot of
honor them?
That's a lot of the discussion.
He's been in office for
6 months. What month?
Not
July?
not to compare it this way, but like, man, Harvey Weinstein Drive would have been a real mistake.
So, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Not to say that like that's what's going to happen, but you just don't want to preemptively, like, you don't want to give the gold medal before you actually,
Right.
get through the finish line.
Yeah.
Well, you honor somebody for an accomplishment.
Yeah. No, you do.
Well, I'm not trying to be difficult, but
So not to interject. So while I had, I left Damien at Guy's Barbershop.
Oh, and also maybe you should probably name not name
Right.
too specific of names of who you talk to.
No, Damien.
He wouldn't care. He would not care.
So I popped over to Damien at Guy's Barbershop. We had a little, between one fern interview. He has a fern there in the front, and we sat. And one of the
doesn't have the budget for two.
Does not. He's still recovering from the fact that a car drove into his shop.
I remember that.
And then COVID, the guy's just been, rolling with the punches.
If you had to pick,
Yeah.
would you rather have a car roll into the front of your business every month or be shut down again last year?
car rolling through the front of my store every month.
There you go.
It's
Or
like
or
maybe
get your name changed, like the street name changed
Right.
to Biden.
yeah.
Would you
So
rather?
So you have to redo your website, all
I
of your
can-
print materials,
everything.
all of your advertising
No.
budget.
Well, take me down this road of today because
So so just kind of we're circling everywhere. So going back, we sat with him. Now, Damien's lived in Scranton for about 15 years. About 5 more than our president. And we had this conversation, and I said, "Hey, Damien, where are you from?" And he's like, "Jessup." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, Jessup's known for St. Ubaldo, right? We all know St. Ubaldo, Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Viva Santo
The running of the
Ubaldo,
Saints.
Viva Santo
Yeah.
Ubaldo, all that. And I said, Damien, they're heavy ties in Gubbio. is there a street named after, St. Ubaldo? I know we have in Scranton, St. Francis Cabrini, St. Anne's, all these things in the Novena, God bless. And he said, no. He's like, there isn't, St. Ubaldo Street or St. Ubaldo Avenue. And I was like, that's fascinating. And he's like, yeah, he saved Gubbio. The whole story behind St. Ubaldo is he saved Gubbio. And then he says to me, he's like,
This sounds like a weird video game from when I was a
I know.
kid.
So he's like, but Biden hasn't saved Scranton.
He said, what has Biden saved?
Yeah, what has Biden saved? And he's like, not Scranton. And, all this stuff. So, it really got me thinking. And it was just such a, enlightening and fascinating conversation, for somebody who decided to open a shop on Spruce Street, and then across the street, there's other, tenants and businesses and up and down, R&D. The sentiment is not political. The sentiment is common sense. They said, why are we just going to throw money, it's like good money and bad money. Like
Let me ask you a question. Who from what resident of Spruce Street or business of Spruce Street has said, hey, maybe we should do this, and this is the perfect place to do this?
Nobody has made an advisement on that. Now, I did get a suggestion from one person, and we do have an up and coming, pocket park. And Scranton Tomorrow is involved in it, and I think it's going to be absolutely wonderful. And parks have names. I grew up near McKinley Park in Brooklyn, and
McDade Park.
we have McDade Park,
Naog
and
Park.
We have Naog.
I don't know who Pete Naog
I don't know.
is.
Phil Naog.
One of the
Naog.
parts,
I
of
have no
today is
clue
like
either.
who or what is a Naog. So and I mean it was designed. Naog was designed, I believe, by.
You think it was somebody in the Continental Congress voting no and then dying?
Nay.
All right, so continue.
So we had this conversation, and we're like, hey, why don't they rename this, beautiful soon-to-be pocket park after, President Joseph R. Biden Jr.? And I said, that's a damn great idea. That's
It's already
it.
getting built no matter what. So
Yeah, so,
it doesn't interfere or affect with anyone.
And I assume if we really went to the top and we asked,
But I think there was like
President
one
Biden,
person. I think there was like one person on Spruce that was
one person,
One person.
at an unnamed law firm, and
Yeah.
and he was
And
like, "Oh, I don't care."
happy with the name.
Yeah,
wanted the name.
certain law firms sometimes don't, they don't care. Action.
Is it a law
reaction.
firm that is this or?
I don't know.
What is-
Okay, I don't
what
need
is-
to
what
know.
does
I
that
don't need to
mean?
know.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Are they
I saw
Spartan?
ads.
Are they Spartan? No,
I saw ads.
No ads. No ads. I've
saw
never,
ads.
I've never seen an ad. But if you,
I didn't know exactly what you're talking
Yeah, I
about.
didn't know what it meant.
if you,
Just in case anybody's wondering, the
No.
name Naog
Yeah.
traces its origins to the Muncie Indians.
oh,
Oh, we got a lot of them
It
around here.
means noisy water.
okay, and there is the
Wait.
gorge.
Wait,
And all that.
did you say we got a lot of them here?
No, we don't.
Oh,
No,
No, we came in. We're like, we're gonna use the coal and we're gonna burn. Maybe the
Yeah.
maybe the Native Americans at the time were like, we're gonna go.
yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah, because I just saw lumps of coal rolling down the river where we wash our clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, we're out.
Like
Yeah.
people leaving New York for
So-
Florida or
Yeah, I mean,
California
or
for
it's
Texas.
or it was the major, oops
Yeah.
that we did as Americans, which was
everything
insane.
from 1492 and on.
Yeah.
So one of
Wait,
the
what did we
thoughts,
do?
1492.
there's this whole genocide that we did. It was like when you try to ask the Germans what happened between 1933 and 44, and they
Or-
just say we're on vacation.
or the Turkish in the 20s.
Nobody
and-
cares about them.
No,
The
I mean,
Turks?
the Greeks care.
Not here.
The Greeks.
No.
Well, yeah, Alex.
We've been free for 200 years. Yes, March 25th, 200
Nobody's
years
perfect.
of freedom. We made democracy, we destroyed democracy, we made socialism, we tried to make it work like 10 times, didn't work. But, circling back, if you walked into the White House and said, hey, Mr. President Joe Biden, we're going to rename the street, but we're going to put out all these small businesses. And he's going to say, you know what he's going to say? Come on, man. Why are we doing these to these small folk? Why are we doing these to the small town?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Well, I mean, just to give perspective,
wouldn't want that.
But just to give perspective,
Yeah.
it seems like a name change.
You're
right?
talking about a guy who rode Amtrak every day. This isn't like an
Yeah, we could have the Biden rail line. I'm
Right.
fine
This
with that. I
isn't
don't
an-
give
they
a
would
shit.
finally put it in.
Well, I mean,
hope
we've been
so.
hearing about it since I was a zygote.
Oh, I moved here in 2004, 10 years from now. And it's been, I don't know, I've been here almost 20. Still waiting, but hey, maybe by the 20th year, I'll have a rail line.
But give me perspective. Like if I live on Spruce Street, and let's say, let's compare it from a business, or like I reside there. Like what it seems like just a name change, but what does that mean for me?
So topically, I'm going to just state the easiest things. So if I'm a resident or business on Spruce Street, automatically I have to change my bank account and my checks. And yeah, I'm going to run out of checks. I'm going to order new checks, whatever. I have to now change all of my business cards, all of my letterhead, all that jazz. Then I have to call all my suppliers. Now, you know about suppliers. If you just did it, you just moved.
Mm-hmm.
How many suppliers do you have to call?
50.
How much time did it take you?
My wife did it.
How much time did it take your lovely wife to do it?
I mean, honestly, the actual move, basically looking at an application of something like this with a move,
Yes.
You're looking at 100 hours.
Okay. Now,
And an ungodly amount of money.
right.
Probably even more than
Aja.
more than 100.
Aja,
right? Probably
you're
more
an
than
SEO and social media expert. Tell me about that. Tell me about SEO.
Yeah.
What happens to Google when you move?
It's so crazy.
We still can't get Facebook to switch over.
Boom.
Yeah.
We still can't get Google to switch over.
Bingo.
So that's
You can't change your Google.
no. I mean,
You have to jump through so many
Yeah.
hoops.
You got to bring up paperwork.
Well, I mean, think about it this way, and I can't remember what street it is. I think it's 6th Avenue in New York.
Avenue of the
the
Americas.
Americans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You can't find anything on that street.
Nope.
Because
it's Avenue of
Google
the
Maps or
Americas.
whatever app you're using, it doesn't want to talk to itself
Nope.
because you put in Avenue of the Americas or 6th and it won't connect.
I've had
There's a
so many
disconnect.
conversations today about
It's
that.
one thing. It's really easy in comparison. It's actually pretty easy to change your address because you know what you have to do.
Yeah.
It's really hard when you're not changing your physical location, but you are changing your address.
Exactly.
That doesn't compute.
And you didn't ask for it.
No.
Yeah.
No,
No
There's
one
no
asked for
benefit
it.
to it.
No.
And this is not, and from so. Have you found anyone who took into the politics of it, or what was the thing?
So-
like, is it to me it seems like a very apolitical thing. It's like, this doesn't make sense. It's going to be a pain in the
Yes.
ass for me.
So the expressway, there was no, blowback. And at the top of my petition, you can see that, hey, you're signing this because you don't care about the expressway. We can rename that, but there will be hardship changing Spruce Street. And, the majority, everybody on Spruce Street pretty much, every business pretty much signed it. Maybe I missed, one or two people because they were out to lunch or something.
Did you hit just businesses, or did you get residents?
Residents as well. There's actually business owners that are residents on Spruce as well.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Now you went along for this ride.
Yeah, I did. I mean,
Aja-
but the businesses are gonna be affected even the most, right?
Oh,
Because
of
the
course.
residents,
Yeah.
you could probably say, yeah, it's just
And some of them are short term. They don't own a house downtown. I own my building downtown. I reside in my building downtown. I'm on, little old Penn Avenue, whether it's named after William Penn or Pennsylvania, whatever. I'm there.
Or the thing I write with.
Yeah,
But,
or the
yeah.
Pen, one end.
Different spelling.
but-
Public school.
But Mike,
Trans
Mike
school
made a
district?
great point too. Like,
Yeah.
they moved recently, and
Yeah.
they're still trying to get found, right?
Oh yeah, these
So
little
you're looking at all these businesses. I mean, for me, especially, like what kills me honestly is, so I don't know how many businesses on Spruce Street are running ads.
right.
Oh yeah, I never even
So-
thought
I
about
know
that.
law firms
So-
are definitely running
So
ads.
if they're running ads online and everything, right? Guess what? They got to pause their ads and
Yeah.
they got to change.
Well, I mean, you got to look at and it's just a very simple connection to it. When we moved our business, we took into account construction, new materials, and then we had a hiring budget, and then we had a big marketing budget because you have to spend a lot of money to tell people where you are.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
It's almost like you're kind of in a way starting over. Well, now
You're
all of a
starting
sudden,
over.
You are,
every
yeah.
single business that is on this street that's being renamed has to now go spend $30, $40, $50, $100,000 to tell people,
Right.
we haven't moved.
right.
You
They
think
just
it's that
changed
much?
the name. Oh yeah,
Yeah, no, I think
you're
it's
looking.
gonna be-
I think you're looking at
probably-
millions of dollars.
I think it's
Right.
probably gonna. like depending on what kind of business, it's probably going to be more than that. So like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait,
you're
this is
looking
not
at-
hyperbolic. You're being serious.
No, I'm being
that
serious.
like these
yeah.
business-
I'm
away.
being serious, right? So you're looking at, can we mention names? But like you're looking at that barbershop, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a small barbershop, but it's still right. I mean,
But it's
he's
still
been
a business?
advertising for
Oh.
3, 4, 5 years,
And
right?
he's been there longer. Yeah.
yeah, and now so Google understands him.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at all these local ads, like so Google understands, like next door, all these
Yes.
aggregators understand that. Now you're gonna tell them, no, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Biden. So they have to change that. So start understanding. So now he needs to put in a little bit more money
Yep.
to promote
Which he
himself.
doesn't have because he was
right?
closed
Yeah,
for
he needs to
how
put
many
in a
months?
little bit more money to promote
4
himself.
months.
Like if he's running ads, he has to stop the ads,
Yes.
restart them. The ads basically would have to be understood by the bots.
Yeah.
To say, oh,
so all
okay.
all that value over
All
the
that-
all that
yeah.
value over the
It's gone.
years of like.
It's gone.
Do you have $100 bill I can burn? If I can borrow one, please.
No, Alex, I don't even think I have a fucking nickel
Can I,
for you to
can I
burn.
have a melted nickel?
With that, good luck.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, right? So like 35,000 foot view, right?
Yeah.
Like to me, it makes it seem to me that, the only, like, when you think to yourself about like the town that you live in, like there's reasons to do and not do things,
Of
right?
course.
And a lot of the times, and I think we can all agree that a lot of the reasons why they do it are reasons to make people feel good.
Totally.
So things like that are to be like, I want to make people feel good.
Right.
I don't. The people that this is going to make feel good aren't the people that live on Spruce Street.
Not at all.
Don't have businesses on Spruce
Don't
Street.
have businesses.
Right.
Don't live on Spruce.
They're not going to put in any money.
Nothing.
People like Micah is going to be losing money.
Who is this going to make feel good?
I'm assuming
Our
people.
tourists. If you look at the
Yeah, but-
resolution
but-
and the findings of the committee, it'll bring tourism that'll offset the
Wait, but
expenses.
like, that's the thing too. Like, I think that is bullcrap. Like,
You can say
are they-
bullshit, Aja.
bullshit. Bullshit.
But what are they gonna do? Like, just come to Biden
They
Street
want to walk on Biden
and
Street.
walk?
I would.
That is stupid.
Hollywood
that is
Walk
stupid.
of Fame?
But no, but that's kind of like stupid. I'd rather go to a park that
Yes.
is named after Biden,
Absolutely.
right? I
Yeah,
like to
I agree.
go to a
Giant
place.
American
Yeah,
flags.
not on the street.
Maybe like 46 American flags.
I mean, do you think that the argument, like, so my counter argument to that is like, yeah, tourism, but like, it's not a sustaining tourist thing. It's almost like one of those things where it's like, Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's really it's not even really that nice to drive down.
Nope.
And there's no shops I can go to anyways.
right?
Well, I mean, you have to look at cost benefit. I mean, you look at the total
Oh, wait,
cost.
so what is the cost benefit?
I mean, the
of this?
cost to the businesses, the cost to redo all the signs, the cost
Yes.
to redo all whatever marketing plan is going to happen. It's going to require to bring millions of dollars into the downtown economy to compensate for that.
And I don't think it will.
I don't think it's going to.
Especially with the price of parking. Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding.
I don't think
Mr.
it's
Co-Chair?
going to.
What is? I mean. So tell me about the parking situation. How does that? How would that be? Like like when they were doing the landfill up there, right? They were trying to get a report, and it's the cost. It's the benefit, the harms benefits analysis,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So what is
Cost-benefit,
the harms
yeah.
benefits analysis of, number one, changing this to the way it is or the way they want it to be, versus these other factors that probably were not considered
Nothing was
Yeah.
considered.
in terms of the decision. Because it's always like, this feels. It's like, man, it's really nice to kiss girls. But if it's not your wife, it's a whole load of problem. You know what I mean? So I didn't consider that
Yes.
in my
Yeah.
equation. So I think there's a lot of forces that are not considered. Do you want bourbon or do you want scotch?
Do we have ice?
I will get you ice.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
It's not like pretty ice, but it's
What are
it's,
we? I'll take shaved. So what are we considering
go.
as
go.
a cost and a benefit? Micah,
I'll go get
since
ice while you.
You're
Was
on
there
that
was
trip.
there a question in there?
Yeah. What was?
Yeah, what is the harms benefit of this? Like, if you wanted to weigh it out. So in other words, the harms benefit, the way I'm trying to purvey it is if that gets changed, considering the other things that are broken,
Right.
such as parking.
Okay, can I put it to you this way?
Yeah.
So, an album I've been listening to a lot lately.
Now, for perspective, for people who are listening to this,
Yeah.
both of you are on the parking authority.
Yeah.
I'm the chairman. And
Yeah.
Micah,
And Mike
you
is
are?
co-chair?
Vice chair.
Vice chair.
Yeah, I'm
Co-chair,
number
vice
2.
chair. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So an album I've been
Number
listening to a lot
2.
lately. It's a country album, and one of the lines in there is it's talking about heartbreak, and the line is it's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. That's what this is.
Oh, constantly.
This is a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
We've heard this for years.
I mean,
in
we've
Scranton.
got messed up streets. We've got a school district in shambles. We've got a budget that cannot be balanced.
I don't
We've
know.
got-
I don't know if we need to go through all the problems.
Right, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, so instead of fixing the real problems,
Yes.
we're going to name something Joe Biden way.
Because it makes us feel good.
It's a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
It is.
It does
is.
nothing.
It is.
Absolutely
And
nothing.
forget the politics of it. Like, forget if you love or don't love Joe Biden.
It's
Forget if you
irrelevant.
loved or did not love Donald
Right.
Trump.
Right.
The reality is the president of the United States is from Scranton. That's fantastic.
Great.
That's
It's
awesome. But we're going to spend all of this money to rename a street rather
Right.
than fix a school or fix the streets.
Right. And we've had some pretty famous
It's-
people out of Scranton.
I mean,
You know what,
I
they
think
should-
I've lived in Scranton longer than he did.
Right, so have I.
And I wasn't even born in Scranton, and I've
No,
done
yeah.
a lot
You
of
were-
things in Scranton, and he
I was-
still hasn't done anything
Yeah.
in Scranton. So I don't know.
You know, so it's difficult because it's an awesome thing that
Of
the
course.
president is from here, but
Yeah.
and at some point we do want to acknowledge that and honor that and celebrate that. But right now,
right.
recovering from COVID, with everything that's going on, with everything that we need to happen, this to me seems like it's a cover. It's just a ceremonial thing that's going to make absolutely no difference.
Well, it's going to cause problems.
Right.
I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's going to.
Dude,
yes,
anytime-
anytime for the businesses, it's
For
going to
businesses,
It's
for
just going
businesses,
to cost
there's gonna
money.
be a lot of money. For
It's just
businesses,
another.
gonna be
It's
a
just
lot of
another
money.
expensive money.
Okay, so if I'm a business owner and I looked at my harms benefited, I'd say that's going to hurt me.
Yeah, for
Right.
businesses, there's gonna be
And
a lot
again,
of money. For those feel good people,
Right.
you know, they're just gonna feel good. But how many of them, right?
Both
how many
sides of the aisle agree that it's going to be painful.
Yeah, it does not make
you
any
know, and
sense
we-
at all. I don't even know.
So
Like,
who's for the ignorance? I didn't mean to cut you off, Aja. I
that's
don't
fine.
want you to think I'm racist.
I mean, we have a bunch of
Oh,
like you know, bunch
almost
of
shaved
bunch
ice.
of black people here. So,
Yeah, it's man.
I mean, Micah lived
Well,
in
I mean,
Ghana for a little
so-
bit.
so
he
let
was
me-
I tan up pretty easy.
Let me.
Okay,
Sweeter.
listen.
Whichever one's
take
sweeter.
a quick break. Listen, we've got Oben 14.
Sponsored by Open.
No, we're not.
That'd be awesome,
Absolutely
though,
not.
wouldn't it?
That would be.
We might get in trouble for this.
Uh-oh.
But
Why?
Oben 14, it's a really good scotch.
So why would we get in trouble for
I
drinking?
don't know. Are we not allowed to show
Well, you
things?
bought it.
Huh?
I did buy it.
You paid for
So-
it. You paid part of the rights.
Yeah, I did. Oben 14, really good. This is a funny story, actually. I'm going to tell a quick story.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
brother.
we're here.
So, I took my kids down to Tennessee, where I'm from, and yeah, a little bit. And while we were down there, I took them to the Robertson County Museum.
Okay.
And Robertson County is the county in Tennessee where I grew up. And on the wall was this sign that said Woodard Distillery. Have some of
Oh,
this.
I'll try
It said
it.
Woodard Distillery. There you go.
Thank you.
And Woodard, I didn't know that Woodard Distillery was a thing. So she told me the whole history of it. Come to find out, our family back in the 1800s owned a whiskey distillery. And
Oh, wow.
you know, if you look at Andrew Jackson's home in I think Hermitage, I'm gonna mess this up.
Yeah.
But thank you. Belmead, you know, all of the more wealthy parts of just south of Nashville, they provided all the whiskey for
your
all
shake.
those homes and for all those people. And it's kind of cool. I traced it back and, you know, actually went to the distillery that is now in Nashville. And don't make a face when you drink that.
nose.
Dude, you look like a seagull just shit in your eye.
And I bought some. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then went back to Springfield, and we were heading out. Before I did, I ran to the grocery store and grabbed a few things. And I was checking out. There was a black girl that was checking me out, and her little name tag was, you know,
Like
whatever her
checking
name
out
was.
for
At the
real?
register.
No, like at the
or checking
register.
you out?
Yeah, she's like, that guy looks like a soccer player.
Hey,
And
Micah,
her name
what you doing?
was Woodard.
Get out of here.
Wow.
Yeah, and it just kind of clicked for me. Now, I never knew that our family owned a whiskey distillery because I come from a very, you know, religious, Baptist family, and there was, you know, certain things you don't do. You don't drink. You don't do certain things. And I knew my whole life that our family historically owned slaves, but they were ashamed of the fact that we used to make whiskey,
Yeah.
and it was a weird realization.
Wow.
Weird realization.
Wait, your family owned slaves?
Yeah.
Wow.
They were okay with the slaves, but
I'm not going to say they were okay with it, but
with
I
whiskey,
knew
it's
about it.
No, we don't
I
want
mean,
anybody
we all
to know.
knew
Yeah.
about it. We knew that our family,
Yes, whiskey, no.
yeah, it was kind of a weird realization, and
Is that humbling?
it's weird. I don't know any other way to say it than it's weird.
Wow.
I definitely I fall under
Like,
the,
does that give you like it almost takes your breath away, and you're like, oh boy.
no, to me it's almost more comical.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Not that we own slaves. I mean, that's
No,
Not good.
The irony, ironic.
Never good.
no.
I mean, unless you own a prison.
Yeah.
Jesus, modern day slavery, man. That's
like-
prison.
I mean, you like recycling.
On that note, man,
It's
I want
not
to try.
wrong.
I want to try that whiskey.
Get in there.
Oh, dude, I thought I thought Alex was being.
No,
well,
I'm
you know what?
sorry,
I guess
I'm
the Greeks
horrible.
are not polite.
No, they're not.
We're the most polite.
Yeah,
No,
the Irish are.
I don't know how to say it other than it's unusual when I run into somebody and with the same last name as me in the town that I grew up in. It's a little
It's
awkward.
not Baptist or white.
Yeah, it's awkward. I feel no guilt over it because I didn't do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a strange sense of connection in a weird way.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the history's there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact that 150, 200 years ago we made whiskey, and that was the black spot on the family history.
Yeah,
it's strange to me.
It's good whiskey though.
It's good.
Did you try it?
It's smooth.
Did you get
Yeah.
some ice?
It's
Yeah,
a
I
sherry
did, a
cask
little bit.
bourbon. That's all I know about it because it says it on the bottle right there in front of me.
Yeah,
So
no,
let me
it's good
let me
whiskey.
ask. So I'm the only person that was born here.
I was born in America.
Oh fuck.
My parents
Scranton,
weren't.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, not from here.
Okay, and
Aja, not from here. Micah, not from here.
Tennessee.
Yep.
I just said it in fewer words.
Yep. I just want to
Trust the Greeks to make everything worse.
Yeah, Alex rolls in and he's like, and then I got it a thing, and then I went down to the thing, and then
Hey,
No Coke, Pepsi. No Coke, Pepsi.
Is that a thing, man? Is that a Greek thing? Is Pepsi
Listen,
no Coke?
the diners have Pepsi.
So me being, at around what age did everybody get around to Scranton?
19.
You were 19 years old. What year was that?
2000.
2000, Aja?
yeah, I got to Scranton in 2004, and I was like 32.
32?
No, 30.
Dude, I still can't believe how old you are.
Yeah.
And Alex,
I moved here also in 2004, and I was about 18, 17, 18. Yeah.
so Micah, you came from Tennessee.
I
Or
came,
England.
I came from a lot of places.
Okay.
But I wound up
So,
here.
and Aja, you came from.
Same like him.
You were in England?
Yep. From Ghana to Oregon to England to Scranton.
Yeah.
Ghana to Oregon to England to Scranton. Man, you took the scenic route.
He did. From sea to shining.
And
sea.
you literally
I
got
was-
on a loaf of feta with an oar.
I
and
did. I was born.
Feta's buoyant.
I was born.
And you
It
just
is.
went- it is.
That's
I
why
told you. I told you.
We brine it. So I was born and raised in the capital of the world, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Capital of the world.
So what did
Capital of the
I mean
world.
individually? I mean, I hear stories because I really don't have a lot of perspective. It's kind of like being in an abusive relationship and you don't realize you're in the abusive relationship. So what was like when you came to Scranton? Like, what was your impressions of it
As a
when you
young
got here?
Ghanaian.
I
Tell
mean,
us.
Is it
honestly,
Ghanaian?
Ghanaian, Oregon,
Yeah, I mean,
Oregonian, or whatever.
Oregonian? Did you go to Portland and you're like, fuck this?
the first thing I said
I'm going
was
back to Africa.
the first thing I said was I remember the first thing I said was Scranton. What?
Yeah, did you lose a fucking bet? Like, how did you get to Scranton?
At what age did you come here?
My sister lives in Scranton.
34?
32.
32.
But he looked
I forget.
14.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby
They're
face.
still carding him.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
So yeah, no. I mean, I remember I was like, wait, Scranton, what?
Right.
That was me, honestly. I was.
But but
Scranton.
when you walked around, when you were like, what was
No,
like culturally?
it was Scranton. What?
Oh, that's your
Yeah,
that's your T-shirt.
It was Scranton. What? Like literally.
Electric City.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like 2020. I mean, I said 2010. I wanted to leave. Like after 6 years, I was like, I've had enough. Like,
But what was the enough?
Yeah. What was
Like,
your
so-
first impression and the
It's like-
enough?
I mean,
I'm basically asking you, when you went on the date, what were your impressions?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So
Did she smell nice? Did she feel nice?
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, but like, growing up in cities, like, and you probably even think like, oh yeah, he's from Ghana, but I grew up in the city. Like, I mean, I'm a city boy.
Accra?
Yeah, I've done.
Dude, I totally thought he was like in the Serengeti.
10 points
I don't
to
know how.
Gryffindor.
This is how much. But this
been
is
there.
But this is how ignorant people like me are. We make presuppositions about.
It's either desert or jungle. I don't
You
know.
know, and I've lived in Portland. Used to travel Portland.
Oh
Portland.
shit! I was right about Portland.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I lived in Portland.
I will make a stereotype.
And,
Aja likes soccer. Portland's good at soccer. Ghana's good at soccer.
and
I don't know if
travel-
that's just facts, Alex.
so travel. Portland, Seattle. I did San Fran and all of that. And then
Did you see someone take a shit on a sidewalk in San Francisco? I'm just
did.
wondering.
I did.
I didn't. Yeah.
Did you take a shit on a sidewalk?
Probably. I don't know.
You thought you were in Ghana?
It's not. No, actually,
hole.
no. Actually, I peed because
Did
I
you?
was
I
like,
pee, dude.
I was looking for a place to pee, right?
Did you-
I wanted to pee so bad. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna go pee. So I pee.
This
It's
is
not-
this
dude.
is a really intellectual podcast.
Just so you know, it's not that crazy because I know a kid who went to a U party and took did an upper decker at a U party. So it's not that crazy for people to urinate and defecate in the strangest of places. I just don't know if a public sidewalk
look,
out in front of a
listen,
spa
it was
go
a
should be good.
outside of City Hall in New York City. Like
It was a parking lot. It was a parking lot. So I don't think they had.
Dude,
cameras.
everyone's pissing
I
a
don't think
parking
they-
lot,
I don't
man.
think they had
Everybody.
cameras.
Everybody's
but
done that.
Yeah, I mean, but I did that, and then having the opportunity to live in England as well for like another.
What part of
4
England?
years. I mean, I was like right in the heart.
Of London?
Yeah.
What
You
part?
know.
Really?
So I mean, my family lives in North London.
Yeah.
But
Still? Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but I still I did a lot of like North and East London.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of, and I mean, I traveled to like West London, but it was just too bougie for me.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
much about our British brethren.
Oh, kind of like lavish Scranton.
Yeah. Lavish, a little bougie.
I mean, it's a good place though.
I love Lavish
is a good
Scranton.
place. Yeah, but but it was like having the opportunity to do all of that, and then coming to Scranton. Honestly, thought it was a dump.
Yeah.
Like I really did.
I believe it.
I thought it was a dump, and I wanted to get out. And then one of the things that
I've been to Accra.
right? So yeah. So you have right?
Shots fired.
So you have and
Don't talk trash about my home.
no, so no, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Cheers.
Like you have, and for
Yeah.
me, even like experiencing
No,
all
I get
of
it
that,
though. I
like
get it.
experiencing all of that, and thinking like, oh my goodness, like Scranton. Yeah, it was. I think.
But why did you want to like? What was the thing that was like you had enough, or you're like, this is like I just got to get out of here? What was that in
Yeah,
2010 when
what-
you were
I
trying
it
to
was
get out of
just
here?
the mindset of people.
Oh,
Bingo.
Coal miner mentality.
Bingo?
Yeah.
It's all mindset.
See,
It
no, I
is.
don't understand this because I'm from here.
Okay, let me put it to you.
And not to, we're gonna put a pin in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you like the 20-second version. So I had the same mentality as Aja. To me, it was always it's dirty,
Yeah.
political corruption,
Very.
no culture, like, the economy's a mess. And it was just, I only saw the negative things because that's
Right.
all I heard about. It's kind of like that old Native American adage. There's two wolves inside of you, one good, one bad. It depends on which one you feed.
Yep.
Right.
And so that was my opinion of Scranton. And I remember I wanted to go back home to Nashville. There were some career opportunities. I wanted, kind of
Country music.
put roots. No,
Who's going to be a performer?
I was thinking about it.
He's really talented, man.
I know.
All right.
I know.
I sing a
That
little.
voice.
Don't start. I remember I sat with my wife and
Who's Greek, by the way.
who's Greek and awesome. But I said,
No,
Are you like the
Wait.
fucking pop-up video for this
Listen,
podcast?
I know everybody
Wait,
who's
she is?
Greek.
yeah, my wife's super Greek.
Oh, I didn't know.
Everyone
super Greek.
Greeks know Greeks. We all know.
Yeah, she
who's
was towed by Alex's feta.
Greek. Yes.
Oh.
So sorry to interrupt you.
But
Apologies.
I said to her, I've moved around a lot. I left Tennessee when I was younger and kind of went back and forth over in Europe and different places. And I said I wanted to go home. Like I want to go back home where some of my family is, and that's what I want to set up roots. I want to go home. And she said that if you leave here to go to your home, you're taking the kids away from the only home they've ever known. And in one sentence,
Oh, that's profound.
everything changed.
Yeah.
In one
Greek.
sentence, everything changed.
Bro, look, Socrates.
And for me, it was no longer a place where, there was political corruption. It was, there is opportunity for good leadership.
Yes.
It was no longer a place where there was a bad economy. It was a chance for people who were going to buy or start businesses to grow something really special in a place where there's great opportunity. So it was all about, like what you said, it's all perspective and mentality. It's 100% what it is. You can find, if you're looking for bad, you can find bad. If you're looking for good, you can find good. And for us, that's what Scranton was. It was, you can see something that might be wrong, or you can see an opportunity to fix it,
Right.
and to be better. And so I really feel like that's what's changed over the past couple of years is, certain people have come along, and it's no longer a story of this is wrong. So if you want opportunity, when you graduate college, go to Philly, go to New York, go to Chicago. There's massive opportunity here.
Well, in the history of Scranton, I mean, most people were like, "You gotta get out of here to go to college." You gotta, and most of them don't come back because there's no incentive.
Which is ironic because we have the U, Marywood.
Medical.
Well, we take them from
medical
other
college.
places, but
But it doesn't matter. Like, it's here.
Yeah.
Talk about
It's
the brain
literally-
drain,
we're-
right? Talk
we're
about
a
the brain
college
drain.
town.
We are.
I mean,
we are.
if you step back and really look at it, we're a college town. We're a professional town.
there's seven
we're
colleges.
not a coal town.
Right.
We are no longer a coal town.
The only place
We're a
more
professional
college
town.
than us is Lewisburg, but it's great community. Yeah.
Lewisburg.
I still get it.
Virginia.
I
So-
still get it
Fuck
till
no.
now, right? I still get it to now when people
Yeah.
walk up to me and tell me, "You don't belong here."
Who the fuck says
Is it
that?
because you're
Oh, a
black?
lot of people. No, it has
Is
nothing to do-
it because you're smart and you're a
it
threat?
has-
because you're
it has-
smart,
it-
yeah.
it has nothing to do with race, but it's more like you don't belong here because like the way you reason,
Right.
the way you look, the way you dress, you don't belong here.
You possess too much
I mean,
logic.
there was a time. I'm not gonna mention names, but I did interview at a company for like a marketing strategy job, and I thought it went great. I've never had like, I don't know how many interviews I did with that company. Like I think 4.
Jesus.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, and I still didn't hire
I
him.
thought,
Yeah. Or they hire you for CEO.
so
like-
they didn't. Like initially, I thought like, hey man, I'm getting like a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah, 4
getting to do
interviews,
all
yeah.
those like interviews, and then I didn't get the job, whatever. And I'm the kind of person that likes to basically ask for feedback,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, what did I do wrong?
Wanna learn.
How can I? Yeah. And the email that I got back said, "Oh, we thought you'd be bored."
Yeah, but that means like that. There's so much subtext to
Oh,
that.
completely.
Like,
Like,
but
they're
they-
not challenging.
What do you
themselves.
mean I'll
They're
be
barred.
bored?
They're
Like,
barred.
what do you mean
low.
I'll be bored? I had
Yeah.
another interview and like with another company, in Troop, and the guy was like, "Hey, you know what? I don't think you're gonna stay."
He thought you were going to treat it as a stepping stone.
And I'm like, "No."
But you didn't think you were going to stick around?
Yeah, that's what he said. And I said, "Look, I've lived in Scranton. At that time, I think I lived in Scranton like 12 years. I'm like, I've lived in Scranton 12 years. I didn't leave, and I'm still here. Like I see
Yeah,
opportunities.
but why would somebody make presume that was going to happen?
So that's what I'm saying. Like it's just the mindset, right?
Oh, so it's the mindset. It's like, man, they're not
just
gonna- they're too
it's
smart
just
to
the
stick around.
They
Yeah.
don't understand. Like this place has been like a coal mine. They haven't really witnessed. I mean, we just talked about like brain drain, right? So they've seen people come. We educate them, and then they go and make other cities and towns better. And I think that's the mindset. And Micah said it earlier too. Like nothing good comes from Scranton. So they have that mindset. Like nothing. So why are you here? Like why do you want to be here? Like you don't need to be here. You could go somewhere. You could go to New York and do some amazing things. And I'm thinking to myself, like, no, why would you say, like, rather say, you know what? Like you're smart. You got some brains. Let's do something in Scranton.
Yeah.
That mentality has never made sense to me. I had a conversation.
Well, it makes sense to me because I grew up here.
No, but so I had a conversation the other day with somebody involved in politics in Scranton, and there was an accusation against them that they were just here because it was a stepping stone. And I think we all knew who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
Nope.
I'm not going to say it.
No.
You know what happened? I just couldn't think of any other names. and I was trying to. I was like, does Grant
The
have a dog
accusation.
catcher? Like, can I name the dog catcher?
I mean, pretty high up the pecking order.
Yeah.
And there was an accusation that it was just, this is just a stepping stone, and they were
Right.
getting criticism for this.
Of
Right.
course.
And I said, like, that is insane to me.
Right.
So you have somebody who has the potential to move up the pecking order and achieve higher office. Why wouldn't we be happy about the fact that we have them for a term or two?
Absolutely.
To me, it makes no sense.
You know, when you
It's
have
no different in a job. Like, if you're going to be around for 2 or 3 years,
whatever.
well, have that person enrich your company for 2 or 3 years. This is
my
not
point.
rocket
Exactly
science.
my point, right?
Yeah.
Exactly
That's
my
just-
point.
And Aja, you're really like, unlike me, you're very business minded.
Like,
Correct?
I mean, I try to.
I don't think he's business minded. I've had a few conversations with him. I think that he is people, systems, and logic oriented.
yes.
Business is very different. It's very different than just X's and O's moving numbers
Right.
around.
Different from traditional.
That was traditional business. I think that his skill set lies more so in human interaction and in the right personalities and the right people in
Yes.
place to achieve certain things, and then instilling in those people the right ideas in order for them to succeed. I think that his skill set is actually much bigger than that.
Well, every time I'm around you, and not to, there's just, you got like good energy, man. Like there's just like,
Here
you know,
come the
there's-
hippies.
No, there's very few people who are lights in the darkness, and I'm just happy
Yeah.
that I met you.
I guess I'm
right.
not from
Totally.
Scranton. I guess I'm not from
Well, you know what?
Well, because you're
So-
reasonable.
You know what? So let's just take a minute, though. Like while we're in the middle of this,
Yes.
with no structure, let's just take a minute and go around and kind of like where we're coming from, how this started, who we are,
Yeah.
and intros.
Well, it's your fucking idea.
Sure.
So you start.
I'm
you
Mike
shoot.
Woodard.
All right, I'll give you I'll give you the quick version.
Wait, can we do something real quick
Yeah.
before we do that?
What are we doing?
I want you to try this.
What is that?
Oh.
That
Try
looks
that.
gross. It
I
looks
don't
like
know.
mud.
Try it. Take a sip.
No.
Well, wait. It tastes like dirt. This should work for
Wait,
you.
was you gonna say you're from Africa?
Yeah.
I'll go
This
first.
tastes like.
I'll go
I don't
first.
trust
So this
you.
is kava.
No.
It sounds
Did you ever try
awful.
kava?
No, I don't. What is it?
All right, try it. It's a root from Fiji.
Oh, it sounds awful.
I've heard of kava. Yeah. Like we're drinking this. He drinks kava.
So what it does,
That's awful.
yeah. So what it does is it actually like in Fiji,
It's awful.
in the island of Fiji, at
Oh,
the
that's
end of the
bad.
workday, they
It's bad.
ceremoniously sit around and they
Why are you drinking that?
because it calms me down.
That's good for you.
What-
I'm
And I
not,
don't have to take a pharmaceutical
I'm not trying that. I'm
or
sorry.
medical
Oh,
marijuana.
it's so bad.
Tastes like
It's
home.
So no, it
Actually, no, wait. They literally, I think so.
Wait, I was
It tastes- no, seriously. I think it. I don't know the name, but it's some.
You
type
wanna try it, Alex?
It's
No.
some type of rice and beans.
You ever have Marmite?
No.
I've heard of Marmite.
Oh yeah,
I've never had it.
wait,
What, like
no,
Vegemite?
no, yeah. It's like a
Vegemite,
British.
yeah,
it's
something
like
like
a
that, yeah.
British.
Well, same thing.
It's a British thing. Yeah, my dad. It was like my dad's favorite. I remember like the first time he gave me. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I think I was like 6
That's
years
bad.
old or
Did you
something. I
just
was like,
swish whiskey?
Yeah,
Oh.
I had to get it
No,
out of my mouth.
But yeah, no, I was talking about that. But it looked.
My drink is so bad that Mike had to taste burning to get it out.
No, I actually, I kind of liked it a little bit because
Do
I
you want to
think.
have? Do you want to
No,
ceremony?
I'm not gonna drink that.
No. But like what? But like
What
one
is
night,
it?
maybe we sit around. It actually calms you
Yeah,
down,
no,
man. It's really
yeah.
it's really
No.
cool.
Aja, you were explaining.
You know what else calms
I'd
you
love
down?
to try it.
Yeah.
Pot.
I think it's something
No.
that they put in. Like we do. Like there's this dish that we make in Ghana. It's called like wache, which is like rice and beans. I don't know if you have.
I've had it, yeah.
that. Like it's rice and beans.
Okay.
And they put something like that,
graskata.
and it makes like it kind of like makes it taste the same. So I
Yeah.
like I tasted it. I'm like,
It's got
But
a,
I tell-
a waxy bitterness to it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it tastes like dirt and shit.
no, actually, it tasted really good to me.
Really?
But yeah.
See, I
I
got.
mean, it tasted like it just kind of like reminded me of like having
it brings you
wache.
back
Did
home.
it
Yeah,
taste
the rice
good,
and
or
beans.
did you have a good emotional reaction to it?
Probably the
Yeah,
emotional.
probably the emotion.
Yeah.
Honestly, so I was thinking about this the other day before we talk about who we are. Like I was thinking
Yeah.
about like why do people like foods, and I think a lot of the times it's subconsciously because it reminds them of something every
Oh,
time they
of
eat
course.
it.
100%.
Food smells, yeah.
Taste, smell.
Color.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
food is like a time machine.
Oh yeah.
Completely.
Isn't that cool?
Who was the guy we were talking to yesterday? The older gentleman who was kind of cool.
Dave
worked with
Hess?
Edie-
Oh, Dave Hess. Dave Hess is
So
the
we're talking
best.
to him, and he brought up RC Cola.
Yes.
And I said to him, I was like, there's no better thing in the world than RC Cola. And then at the same time, we're like, and moon pies.
Yes.
And to me,
Dude,
that was
I
my
was like,
childhood.
ow.
That was
Yeah.
my childhood.
This guy grew up in Carbondale.
No,
Like,
but he's traveled all
oh, I
across the
know.
South. And
But,
like,
I just think that's
that to me, like,
amazing.
so instantly I connected him on an
Yeah.
emotional level because
Oh.
he knew something about me as a kid.
Right.
It was pretty awesome to hear it in stereo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Oh
It
my
was like.
God.
It was like. Oh, this is meant to be.
Like
Yeah.
this guy's
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Carbondale, went to Vietnam, and then here's you know, from
DEA.
the
and
went to
he was an author.
England,
yeah.
and then at one point Ghana,
Cheerio.
Oh,
And
wait,
played
you-
football.
where we probably
Football?
hung out. We just don't know it.
Football? You
Probably,
played football?
right?
You probably played against him.
Euro Cup
Yeah,
2020?
kicked his
Did
Did you play
ass.
soccer?
I think
Or
I started,
football?
I started playing soccer when I moved to the States.
Really? Dude.
I was
Well,
more
kind of like
ashamed.
for me, I
I was
played
more like a
basketball as a kid.
Yeah. I was a
Oh.
And then when I
basketball
went to
person.
England,
Yeah.
I played soccer there, obviously, because everybody did. But at a certain point, it was like, oh, like let's play basketball. You're American, and like I started playing because you're gonna be good at it because it's just in your blood.
It was the same. Honestly, it was the same thing. Like when
Yeah.
I moved to the States, they were like, "Oh, you're from Ghana, so
Uh-huh.
you're good at soccer."
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
But here's the thing, though. You probably just played as a kid
Yeah,
and got more of
yeah.
an education just
Yeah.
playing as a kid and as a
Yeah.
young teenager. And so when you hit that certain level, and that's how it was for me with basketball.
Yeah.
Like I played as a kid. I didn't play seriously.
Yeah.
But then when you go to another country where that sport is foreign to them, you're already
Oh,
better than them
yeah.
because you just
So, yeah.
did some of the fundamentals as a kid.
That's exactly you're right
So
on that.
so Alex is going to go have a smoke because the Greeks can't not. So let's do a quick pause. Okay, so we're back, and now we have chips, which is terrible for a podcast. Oh my God, everyone sounds like the Rock Crusher from Neverending Story.
I'm purposely doing this.
Huh? You're
What are you eating over there? Bugles?
Nacho
nacho
Bugles.
cheese, nacho
Oh,
cheese.
wow.
Sponsored
All right,
by
so you're the guy.
Nacho Bugles.
What year were you born?
75,
1875.
1875,
1275.
1975
In Accra, Ghana.
in Accra, Ghana. My oh yeah, and
This is real now.
hey, this is real, right? This is real. Now you got to be real. Yeah. So yeah, 1975. Two wonderful parents, both not in the world anymore. You know, they
Oh, I'm
passed-
sorry, man.
Sorry to
Yeah,
hear
it's
that,
all right.
brother.
They passed on.
How old were you?
Oh,
100
more recent. No, more
107?
recent. My dad, my mom, 2012, and my dad, 2014.
Oh, shit.
And the funny thing is, especially like with my mom, like, so I've never been back. When they used to pay for me to go back, that was like, yeah, they're paying. You know, I don't care. But now, like, I got to pay to go back. I mean, if you don't have, like, you're not coming from like a third world country, you don't understand that. But it's very expensive going back because you have to buy gifts for every single
yup.
family
Oh,
member.
I know.
Oh, is that a cultural thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
we're-
really?
We're
Yeah.
American. We're better. So we
Yeah,
got to bring
so
Levi's
you got to
jeans
bring stuff to people that you don't even know.
and- Yup.
You know, and
Neighbors.
I am not-
So do you like FedEx that over before you go, or
Uh-uh.
No,
you got to carry that
I
shit on the
know.
That's
plane?
the second suitcase.
I
That's
remember-
what it's for.
Second,
That's-
sometimes third, sometimes
Right.
fourth. Like I remember my dad when he was here visiting and like 2008 or something, and he had to go back. And I remember telling him because he like all these people that he got to buy stuff for, and I'm like, Dad, I am not paying for extra luggage,
Nope, you have to.
and he didn't get it. And I'm like, no, Dad, I am not paying. And I ended up paying so much money. It was like $500
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Just to get extra
Yeah.
stuff for people that I don't know. So anyway, I never really went back because of that, but I regret. I honestly regret because I never saw my mom in like 14 years.
Oh, damn.
And,
Oh man, that's fucking
wow.
terrible.
yeah. And then like when I saw her, it was like her dead body. But
Jesus.
so it was like one of the things that I regret.
Well, this is no longer fun.
like I would not do that again. But it's okay. But
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
So, to buy a ticket from like Newark to Accra
Yeah.
might be like $700.
No.
Is
You're
it
looking
more?
like
Is it
yeah,
more?
Yeah, you're looking like 1,200.
Okay.
Like, sometimes you could get a deal for like $900.
Okay.
but you're
So
looking
let me
like-
ask you this: is it cheaper to buy one from Accra to Newark and back?
No, I
Is it
think it's
cheaper to buy?
no, I think-
Are they the same going both
I
ways, no
think
matter
it's
where you're
about-
coming
yeah,
from?
I think it's about the same.
Does your family come from money? Because I've been to Ghana, and it's people there don't make as much as they make in the U.S.
Yeah, no, still.
So your
never-
family had to come from money.
I mean, not necessarily. Like, I mean,
You
people,
rich?
No,
You
people-
rich?
Oh no, I'm not Nigerian prince.
No emails here.
No, I mean, I would say I come from a fortunate family.
Yeah.
But not rich. Like I come from a fortunate family, and like
Yeah.
almost similar to Alex as well.
Yeah.
You know, we had a printing press. You know, and things like that.
really?
So yeah.
So they would
So-
print the money.
So we were print the money. Yeah, no. So
Yeah.
like when Alex was talking about like some of the things that he used to do, man, I remember like I used to print like some fake stuff for people. You know, and I made money.
Like
I
COVID
regret-
vaccination cards.
I could have. Yeah, I could probably. Oh, wait, I could probably do that.
Careful,
But-
Micah. Alex just almost choked on his Trulies.
Yeah.
But
Light Sky brought to you by Blue Moon.
yeah, no, but yeah, no, I did some crazy stuff, like, you know, because I had the access.
Yeah,
know,
you had the ability
Yeah.
to do it.
to the press,
Yeah, yeah.
and everything, and I could just go in and do whatever,
Yeah.
at whatever time. Yeah, but yeah, so that born 75. You know, went to some of the top schools in Ghana growing up. You know, especially like, you know, if you are like, I don't want to say rich because I don't think we were rich, right? We were just okay, but like you went to private schools.
Yeah.
So I went to private schools all my life. Unless like you don't have, like your family doesn't have anything, then you don't get to go to private school. Then you go to like public school, which is like, you know, like the worst. You know, kind of like everything in everywhere. Like, you know, comparing like going to private school here and public school. Yeah. So big difference. So I had the opportunity to go to like all private schools growing up, and I started high school in Ghana before I finished here, and I went to like the top high school in Africa at that time. You know,
Like
you
the
had,
whole country or just Ghana?
No, I'm talking about like the continent.
Africa's a continent.
I'm talking about the continent.
You're right. You're 100% right on that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the continent. So
That's
they,
a Scranton high school education for you right there, guys.
I thought it was like the 50 nifty United States, and I'm an idiot.
West Side.
yeah, so I did, like, you know, you had
41.
you had
Didn't get that.
it was like it was
I'm sorry for being an asshole.
No.
All right.
It was like one of the top in Africa. It's like it was founded by the British, right? So basically, it was a
So it was
school.
the top school on the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
Where
It
was,
wa-
but was that in Ghana?
It was in Ghana. It was in
Okay.
Ghana. So it was basically a school that was founded by, you know, the British, so they could send their kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
To school. You know. So like you. So
Let's make sure our kids are well, Bubby.
So you're looking at like most
Bobby.
you're looking
Bobby.
at most you're looking at most high schools in Africa, right? Or more specifically Ghana. Like my school, we had swimming pools, we had like cricket fields, and, you know, basketball courts.
That must have been loud at night, those cricket fields.
That's a good
one.
joke.
That's
I
a
liked
good
it.
one.
I had
That's
to
a
come
good
back
one.
from the country of Africa.
That's a good one.
I've been waiting to just get, you know, it's kind of a dad
You
joke.
needed buyback.
Yeah, I need.
That's
Well,
a,
yeah,
that's a good one.
I was
Yeah,
ready to jump out the window after that last one.
So yeah, definitely. So like some people look at me sometimes and think, oh yeah, no, you come from a rich family. No, like no, I have some family members and I have some cousins and stuff like that are rich. Like not me. You know?
I mean, but rich is like a subjective thing. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people who are rich in spirit and not
Right.
exactly,
True.
like
like you'll talk about like money.
Yeah.
I think we're like decent. You know, we're decent.
yeah, like you didn't have to wipe your ass with your hand.
I didn't.
Yeah.
You know, talk about like struggle. Like and I didn't really struggle. You know what I'm saying?
You did pee in parking lots, but
Yeah, but everyone in Scranton's done that at one point or another on a parade day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like do
boy.
pee.
I mean-
in,
I mean-
like, San Fran.
I mean the is it Ghanaian?
Ghanaian. Yeah,
Ghanaian? Like
yeah.
are the I
Ghanaian
mean
or
are they?
Ghanaian?
Ghanaian.
Ghanaian.
I was all right.
Oh, he was
2
better.
pluses for me to make up for the country of Africa.
Yeah, you nailed it.
But is there in is yeah? Now I'm trying to figure out what I say. Ghanaian, Ghana. You know, how's that country of Africa? Like, are they rich in spirit, even though there's not a lot of, you know?
Oh,
Because I think like joy and happiness and stuff like that it's a lot of the times it's the people that are around you. Well, why don't we let the guy who's from there?
No, Mike
no,
is
it's
going
fine.
to
The
take
white
that.
man's got this. Listen,
Mike is going to take that.
I've been there. It's a beautiful country.
Is
like
it?
not only geographically, but like just the people, the color, the vibrance, the history. It is a very rich in culture, rich in spirit place. It's
And
awesome.
it's like everybody is there to like. There's no like like Russia, right? Like my wife's from Russia. You try to give a Russian a compliment, they think you're up to something. You know what I mean? But it's like one of those places where like it doesn't matter how much money you have. The street that you're walking down, like there's just like good vibes from most of the people.
Yeah, yeah. Like I always tell people, like,
Is there a lot of like internal conflict in the country or no?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, are they like America?
Like culturally, yeah, no, like culturally, because like what you're looking at, I don't know. I think they speak about 26 different languages, or like
There's
they call it-
26 languages spoken in Ghana.
Those are all the village
or
languages.
like,
Oh, yeah.
So like,
Jesus, yeah.
like dialect or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're looking at that, So definitely, yeah, there's definitely like some kind of conflict, right? But it's still.
But it's not like like because I'm an ignorant American. It's not like what you would hear about like Rwanda or anything like that. Where it's like the Hutus and the Tutsis and everybody's fighting and there's so much collateral damage.
Like, if we want to go that way, which I don't think this is like the podcast.
No,
right?
I don't want to go deep. I was just asking if like your country is like I don't know the history of Ghana.
No, not like that. But like I was just saying like if you want to go that way, like you got to see you have to look at it this way. Like a lot of things are infiltrated by the West.
Yeah.
Right. So like with Rwanda, it was just basically a West thing. Like I don't care what anybody says.
What do you mean a West thing?
Like I don't want to get political, but get into it. But like America,
Get into
We're
it.
not talking about it. We're not in America.
Like America
American
and European
westernization.
like westernization had big influence
Oh, yeah.
in what happened.
Like to
over
come
there.
in and say, hey, you people don't know how to live.
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
Beyond Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Just
So let me try and phrase.
Is it almost like when
Let me try and say it this way. It was not a tribe versus a tribe. It is almost what we're kind of starting to see in America now.
Yep.
And it is people want to call it right versus left, Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal. It is the haves and the have-nots, and the haves are dividing the have-nots.
Yep.
Because as long as they can do that, they will remain the haves.
right because
And that's what happened
because
in a
it
lot of those
threatens their-
African countries.
Yeah.
like, but do they? I mean, they're basically invaders
The
in a
West-
way, like culturally, economically.
Well, Africa is the most natural resource dense
dense.
part of this globe.
Yeah.
And as long as you can continue to tap into that, look at what we have in America. We don't have a ton of natural resources. We had a lot in Europe. They've been used up because of
Right.
centuries of
We
human
have-
history.
We have a little bit of everything here, but like
Look at South America. South America has more. Africa has, if I were to guess, I would say Africa has as much as the rest of the world combined.
yeah, I think
Africa and South America,
No, I
right?
think it supplies like Africa's probably supplies about like what 60. I don't want to get the numbers wrong, so
Right.
somebody says, "Oh yeah, no," but I think about
Okay, anybody who's going to fact check Aja, go fuck yourself.
I think about like 60.
All right.
I think about like 60%, of the natural resources. Right.
Right.
So let's start. Right.
we're talking
So
90% diamonds.
yeah. So you look at diamonds.
Overrated.
You look at diamonds and you look at gold.
Yeah.
The
Done.
top suppliers, Ghana and South Africa.
And you would
And
think,
then-
like, realistically, they would be Wakanda because of those two things. But no, they've been.
But I mean,
Right.
so let me.
Historically, they were.
So,
Right, but then they were
So you look
fleeced.
at that, right? You look at the chocolate that you eat, like
Right, cocoa
Valentine's
beans,
Day,
yeah.
and all of that. Top supplier, Ghana and Ivory Coast,
Yeah.
right?
Of cocoa beans?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ghana?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So let me get
So,
get this
like,
straight.
You look at oil, like there's like Nigeria.
All right.
So like
So let me get this
you
straight.
look at like almost everything that is used in the world.
Yeah.
That's why I said about I don't know the numbers, but I think
Tungsten.
like it's close to like 60 or more
So
percent.
a lot of the problems that you're trying to tell me is that Western imperialism kind of came in uninvited, and they had more guns or whatever, or more ships that I don't know. So they came in as an imposing force,
Better
right?
weapons.
Yep.
And what are your people, your countrymen, supposed to do in that situation? Because I'm assuming they came promising things and then did they end up raping the wealth of Ghana, or did they?
I mean, they're still doing it. I mean,
Like
that's
currently,
I
right now.
I mean, it could be a different topic, right? That we could get into those things. But I mean, currently, like if you're looking at that, that's kind of like what is happening now, right? So you look at, I mean, I always look at even Nigeria, right?
Right.
One of the top suppliers of oil.
Nigeria is
Yeah, you didn't know that?
like off the coast or in the country, like drilling.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I
top
didn't
three.
totally didn't know that.
Yeah,
No,
Nigeria,
no.
right? And they're still broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you look at that.
Yeah, they're
and
like-
why isn't their lives better? Right.
Right.
You look at you know, like I mentioned Ghana. So Ghana, like you're looking at the supply, like you know, you're looking at gold, diamond, and even just cocoa. Right. There's so many other things that Ghana supplies as well, but just gold, diamond, cocoa. Right. And we are in the top 3 of all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So why would a country like Ghana be poor?
That really brings me to that brings me to and maybe you guys can help me is why not? I mean, and the parallels of that in a lot of places all over the world, including America, is really like, I don't know why it's such a hard leap for people to be like, hey, they're the fucking problem. You know, the people who came in and said, you know, you're not going to get shit, and you're going to be grateful for it.
So I'll say this thing, and then Micah could go because I see he wants to like answer, right? But there's an African proverb that says, "Until the lion learns how to write, the story will always glorify the hunter."
Yes.
So who's telling the story?
The hunter.
Well, I mean, does that go back to that old saying where it's like history is written by the victor?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, listen, there's a reason. There's a reason that you know, we don't speak German. We won World War II. There's a reason that we don't speak with a English accent. We won in 1779.
I think
80?
so. 81 or 79.
81?
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, he who wins the battle writes the story.
Right. Same thing.
So, you know, it's you look at even what's happened in American history. You look at what's happened with, you know, the different Native American tribes, and there's this weird balance of, you know, is it genocide or is it conquering? Is it, you know, is it oppression or is it you won? Is it true history or is it I wrote my side of the story? And there's always that back and forth that you have to find the balance in, you know, and obviously like your story is going to be a little bit different. Your background's going to be different than mine because, you know, it's gone.
I'm fat.
Dead. Hello.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Hello?
Is it still gone?
It's gone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
The Jamaicans would say, "Podcast done." Everybody vote.
Buckshot.
Can you still hear?
No.
Check.
Okay, I know what
Check.
it is. Keep going.
Check. I don't think it's doing anything.
It is.
Is it?
Oh, there it
I
is.
hear
There's
buzzing.
something.
Okay, it's coming
Buzzing.
back. Something is coming back.
Check. Buzz.
Done. Everybody vote.
I hear
Oh.
one ear.
There we
two
go.
Ears. Yes. Are we
recording?
Are we?
Yeah,
in
we
wa-
are.
Waveform. What?
Yeah, it never
what?
got taken out.
What's happening?
Okay.
No one knows that.
What is that? Oh man,
Can we talk about Jesus for a minute?
we can.
I'm talking about all the heathens.
Oh, listen. If ever the end is near, like honestly, I hate to sound like one of those guys. Like I lived through Y2K and all that, but like yo, I think the end is near.
I don't know.
Honestly,
You know what? That's so funny. My daughter said the same thing too.
Did she?
And
Oh,
she's
wow.
like- she's like, "Daddy, I think the end is here," and I'm like, "No, it's not."
I hope not.
And she's like, "No, I think so," because like everything happening. And I'm like, "Listen, you are only 14. You have 80 years to live.
But
so
she
the
gets
end is not here."
She gets it though.
And
But every generation has said that.
Oh my God, 1900 and every 100 years we have it.
and I said exactly the same thing.
But
Too.
Well, it's almost like history repeats itself every century.
Constantly,
You know, you look at what we've
constantly.
gone through. You look at some of the criminality. You look at some of the terrible things that are happening,
Right.
and it's happened every 75 to 100 years. The big
we
difference
forget.
now is we have social media,
Oh, and
so
heightens
everything is exponential. Everything is highlighted. Everything is, you know, we see it in real time.
Yeah. Oh,
we,
yeah.
we used to not see the bombings or the murders or the assassinations or
We would
the
read
stories
about
of human slavery and all those things, and now it's just right in front of our faces
Yeah.
every day, all
Yeah.
day.
That's what I told her. I said, hey, babe, go read
Yes.
First Corinthians. I said, Paul talks about that
Yes.
in First Corinthians, right?
Mm-hmm.
He outlines all that because the Corinthians thought like that was the end.
Oh, of
The
course,
end was
yeah.
here already, and Paul was like, no, that's
No.
not like.
It's interesting. I mean, not to get super religious. We have many saints in the Greek Orthodox religion, and some of them have been blessed with foresight, I guess you would call it. And much like Nostradamus and all these things, they've seen things. Oh wow!
Amber Alert.
Amber Alert.
Yeah, I just got one too.
Everybody. Sebastian
I don't know who Amber
Rios.
is, but
Sebastian Rios, 2 years old. God, Jesus, that's scary.
that's fucking monstrous.
It is. I have a 2-year-old.
Can we bring back like public executions and
I
duels?
would like to. Duels, yes.
I would
Public
sign up for that
executions,
right off the
yes.
bat.
What they call it in the Muslim world, Sharia
Oh, Sharia law. Yeah.
Sharia law.
I mean,
Yeah.
not all of it, but
I
some
did.
of it.
Yeah.
So like in college, I argued about that. Right? I'm like,
Interesting.
Like the
for-
benefits of it.
Yeah, and everybody wanted to assassinate me. After
Like,
you.
like a Haitian president.
Oh my goodness! It's like the Americans thought. The
the Americans wanted to assassinate you like
they
a
were like-
Haitian president? What?
They were like, "Oh my goodness, you are out of your mind," and I'm like, "Well, listen,
So it's
if I publicly shame you,
In a civilized society, I get it.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, can you become too civilized? Because honestly, I feel like
Sometimes.
that's the point we're at, is we're too civilized.
We are. We're everything bothers us. Every little thing. Hey, oh, I don't like the color of your shirt. It bothers my eyes. You should change it. Like, leave me alone.
no, I
Like, stop.
don't have to change it.
Stop.
Like, okay,
This is-
get used to it.
There's a borderline. Like I thought we were in a time in society where we're supposed to be individuals and have individual beliefs, but apparently not. If you don't have the same individual beliefs that the rest of everybody does, you're shunned. I have friends that are all kinds of orientations, and they're Republicans and they're Democrats, but like you can't you have to be. If you're, a certain orientation, you have to be a Democrat. You can't be a Republican.
I mean,
Oh
like,
my God,
I mean, we were talking about like religion, like real quick.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Like even Jesus said, "You live in the world,
Right.
but you are not of the world." So
Right.
you could live here, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to support everything
Of
because you're not
course.
of the world. So
No.
like it's like I see some of these things and I hear some of these things and I'm like, man, people are just so crazy. Let people be.
right?
Let people be.
Yeah.
Have them do the thing. You don't have to agree with them.
Not at all.
You
But
don't
they're
have to agree
human.
with them.
You let them do
just
their
let them
thing.
do their thing. Like the only thing that you got to do is you just got to love people. That's all people are looking
Exactly.
for. Love them.
Exactly.
And let them know that they matter.
Yeah.
Right.
I
You can change a whole lot in this world.
Right.
If you let people know that you love them and that they matter.
Right.
Right. They will follow you. They will listen to you. They will make all the changes that you want them to do. Like it's that simple.
One of the most interesting and life impacting things, growing up in New York, 9/11, all of a sudden, beautiful September morning, all these things happen. And we look back and we memorialize all the, the bravest and the finest and, the Port Authority, EMS, and the people that passed. And they were of all different walks of life and orientations and all these things. And, we honor and we respect them and we remember them. And, like what happened to that?
Do you think that that the zeitgeist of the country is still the same? Like, I remember the unification
right
of the
September
country
12th.
right after
September 12th.
after 9/11.
I
Like,
always talk about it.
and we all, and I remember a lot of us were like, man, this is what it's about. It's like all the differences that we had, everything that we thought
Out
that
the
we were
door.
dismissive about. What happened? Like, where did that go wrong? Like, where did Do you think that that's media? Do you think that that's politics? Do you think that's culture? Like what?
It's.
I'm just really curious
little bit of
about like
everything.
how does a unifying moment within 20 years turn into the most divisive?
If I could field it, if it's being there, seeing it, living in and growing up in a neighborhood. When I moved here, I lived in in a community in the woods where I didn't see my neighbors, but we were concerned about our neighbors. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Do you need anything? Do you need? I'm going to the store. What can I do now? I did see a little bit of that last March. 2020. The beginning of COVID, but then all of a sudden, I'm going to say it. It's in this Amazon mentality of, I need it now. I need it, yesterday, whatever. I don't care what it is that you want. This is what I want. Want, get. And we've just forgotten. There's still some people out there that are still caring about their neighbors and saying, hey, if you don't have a, food or a pot to piss in, come over. But everybody's just tired of it. This generation is so selfish. They are. They don't care.
But we were from. But a lot of us are from other generations. Like how did it
happen?
But how did a small group of society end up being the thing that's like
We've become
want, need,
polarized.
need? But how do you? But that's in 20 years. How do you go from a united nation to the most divided?
Completely.
And is it new?
The most, in my opinion, the most powerful thing in the world is fear. People
As a control mechanism,
or as
a manipulation mechanism?
In everything. Fear is the most powerful emotion. I love my wife more than anything in this world. I love my kids more than anything in this world, and that would cause me to do different things for my family. But I would act at a much more hyperactive level out of fear than I would out of love.
Oh yeah.
Like I love my family, which would cause me to put myself in harm's way to protect them.
Right.
But if I was fearful for my family, I would run towards a fire. So
where does that, like, what is, like, can we put our finger on maybe some of the fear factors, not to use a Joe Rogan show? Like what is it, has something transpired over the last 20 years?
Who's Joe Rogan?
I don't know. He's like a dude.
I'll be real honest, like bringing up 9/11. I mean, you look at what's happened over the course of modern history, especially in America. I mean, that's the world we live in. We often forget about the other, 95% of the world. But you look at what's happened in America, everything from the post-World War II version of America, this militarized nation. Our greatest export is war. It's what we are. It's what we do. We're very, very good at it.
Sell guns
Yeah.
And so
To your country.
to
to every country.
every country.
The country of Africa.
Well, I mean, you look at. I mean, like let's use 9/11 as the example. Okay, there's been rumors that Osama bin Laden was a CIA operative in the 80s, and then you look at the Cold
It's not
War.
a rumor, though.
It's not a
It's
rumor,
not a
but
rumor.
I'm trying to be
He
politically
was.
correct here.
Well, there's no political correctness about it. I mean, he was there fighting the Russians.
100%.
Yeah.
We gave weapons
From probably one of the most wealthy families in Saudi
100%.
Arabia.
Oh yeah.
More educated than Aja, in Europe and in England and all over the world, but you look at the Taliban in the 80s, and we gave them weapons to fight the Russians.
Yep.
They were our people. They were our allies, essentially. And then the narrative changed, and all of a sudden you have the bombing of the USS Cole during the Clinton administration. And then you have 9/11, and all of a sudden
No, it was the World Trade Center bombing of 93.
three, and then the Cole, and
And the
then
Cole,
9/11.
and then 9/11, yeah.
And so you have a complete twist of the narrative. These people that we gave money and weapons and training to for decades, all of a sudden are now the primary enemy.
But they used the skills that we gave them against us.
100%.
Can I pull out an example? So
Well, let him finish.
No,
Then
go
we'll-
ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
real quick. So being Greek, we used to have a monarchy. And
He never lets it go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do
In
know.
his blood.
It's there.
And it's a king and
Yeah, yeah. So, obviously our relation and tie to that with, the late Prince Philip or whatever. He was born in Greece, all that, the Queen's husband. Anyway, so we had a monarchy in Greece, House of Glucksburg and Mountbatten. And
Philip Mountbatten.
Yes. So little or not very well known is the fact that the United States wanted to put a base on the island of Crete, a Suda base.
Around what time is this? Year wise?
50s, 60s.
Okay.
I believe the 60s. So they wanted to put this base to keep an eye on the Middle East. King says, no, okay. CIA trained operative Papadopoulos gets sent in, works his way through the ranks, overthrows and hosts a military coup in the country of Greece and overthrows the king. He's in the
Supported by the CIA.
quietly.
Yeah.
So, the king's still alive, whatever. He's in the UK, all that stuff. So, anyway, Papadopoulos is there. And honestly, under, military coup was probably one of the most prosperous times in Greece because they closed themselves off from the rest of Europe. Everything's great. I hear stories from my grandparents, all this stuff, God rest their souls. And, people are out at night. They're not worried about, crime or anything like that because if you commit a crime, they're going to kill you.
Right.
So things are pretty safe. So anyway, the CIA comes knocking back on the door and they say, hey, George, we need a base. We need to put this base on Suda like we said we were gonna, in Crete. And he's like, who's this? Hello? Hangs up. And they then obviously, decide to overthrow him and led to this whole thing. And the United States instilled democracy. This is an opinion. This is in history books. Not the history books that I was taught in Greek school in New York or anything like that. We're taught about, the gods of Olympus and, all these things and the War of 1821. And,
How good looking your women are.
exactly. And, and how tan we get. And, all this stuff. And we never really look at that. And we never really look at the effects after that. So the U.S. overthrows it, brings democracy. Post-World War II, we go into, prior to that, we go into the civil war of communism versus, not communism, and the fact that we as a country of Greece had a civil war. Many people died, because of their political views. But anyway, we instill this democracy, and there's about 6 families that run the country. And they just keep rotating, and a lot of it,
Even till today?
pretty much, yeah. A lot of it reminds me of Scranton. Everybody who I tell in Greece, they're like, that's fascinating. They're like, Scranton sounds a lot like Greece. And I'm like, yeah, because there's the same political people that keep running and appointing and draining and running and appointing and draining. And that's all we're doing, kicking the can down the road till there's nothing left. And, Greece cries to the International Monetary Fund that says, hey, we're part of the union, give us money. Oh, we're $3 billion in debt because we wanted to join the union and we hid the money in Goldman Sachs. And, 2008 financial crisis comes along and Goldman's like, hey, remember that money, we've been hiding for you? Hey, numbers up. And you're talking the primary socialist country in the world. Like Greece.
At the time was Greece?
Always. We have tried every form of socialism. We have free healthcare. You retire at like 52, all these things. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And, they're a poor but lively country. They're the nicest to visit, all this stuff. But we should have been left alone. We should have stayed out of the European Union. We were doing good. And again, everyone's like, oh, European Union, yeah, you can travel here and go there and go to whatever university you want. But all of a sudden, the EU and the IMF tell you, hey, Greece, you make olives, that's all you're making. You're going to buy your potatoes from, Croatia, and you're going to buy your tomatoes from another country and this and that. And now you have a generation of people that don't know how to farm and they don't know how to do anything. And it created, 52% youth unemployment? 52% youth unemployment. Think about that, okay? We're talking anywhere from 16 to 30.
It's tinfoil hat.
Yep.
It seems a lot like, kind of like what Ghana went through. I think a lot of people don't realize that the United States of America each state is in essence its own little country, and they just agreed
Yes.
to be united for protection or growth. And it seems to me that a
It
lot of
benefited the common good.
Yes. Upstate New York versus New York City.
I think a lot of people don't know that like they raise taxes in upstate New York to pay for the shit that goes on in New York City.
if it's out of sight, it's out of mind.
So there's like with like economics, right? There's like a lot of different things. So like you kind of have like free trade, which is sort of like the first initiation, right? Where it means
And when you
like,
say initiation, what does that mean?
sort of like is like the start, like every
Always.
like that country and that
buy-in.
country
Yeah.
could trade together.
Like Brexit.
So once you have free trade,
or
it's like
free movement.
anytime
of
your
people.
country says we should have free trade, everyone should go, well, wait, what does that mean?
Right. NAFTA.
Yeah, I mean, because you always have to
Trans-Pacific Partnership. Yeah.
you always have to look at the pros and cons, right? And then it goes, and then there's like you get to other things, and then the biggest thing is the political unions. Political unions are the hardest to form, right?
NATO.
And which is what United States did. United States is a political union. So now it's not just free trade between the states. It's not just free labor, free movement between people that could go from state to state, but now they are governing. And I think that's kind of like what they try to do in Europe.
Yep.
And it kind of didn't work
No.
because there's a lot that goes into it. And I mean, we could spend a whole
There's
podcast.
even-
We could spend a whole podcast.
There's
But it
talking about
almost like if I may, like it really seems to me, and Michael attests to this, is like I went through a weird
Awakening.
maybe it is an awakening or whatever. But it seems to me, the whole point of educating people in history is to not repeat the same mistakes. And it seems that because for some reason, no one says, I was asking somebody the other day, I said, how many times, as your friend, how many times do I have to lie to you before you don't believe me?
77 times 7.
Right. No, I know.
And in a town like Scranton, there's this great saying. I don't know if you ever heard it, but if everybody woke up tomorrow and the horse was and the streets were lined in horse shit, everybody just buy taller boots.
Yep.
We're so. I don't know. I don't know if it's apathy. I don't know if it's you're just used to it. I don't know if it's what it is, but it seems like because like none of us can change the world. We're never gonna do that. We might be able to make a dent in where we live. And I think it's really important to realize the rich culture and the amazing fucking people around here. And, it really frightens me to hear you say, like, oh, it's the same 6 families that are running Greece.
Right.
I think there's a lot of people out there who could be like, man, there's some weird parallels there to my backyard. Is that a crazy statement? Like, should I not say, and not necessarily families as in like, the Hatfields and the McCoys, even though they fought each other.
Don't come after my people.
In a place like that, they paint you ethnicistis, nationalist. Okay, and that's bad in Greece. You don't want to be, ethnic. You don't want to be, pro Greece. You want to be status quo.
You don't want to be proud of your country.
Apparently not. Oh,
I mean, the best way that I could put it is like kind of what you're saying, Markie, is it's the whole, throw a frog in a pot of boiling water versus put a frog in a pot and turn up the heat. You don't notice the incremental changes. If you were to take, let's just be real honest, and you hear some of these phrases, if the founding fathers saw what was happening, they turn over in their grave. That sounds weird, crazy, like a turn of phrase, but if you look at what America was designed to be,
And its intention.
all the good and all the bad, because it was not executed perfectly in the beginning.
Yep.
We'll all be the first ones that say that.
First iPhone sucked too.
Yeah, I didn't have one till probably the 5th or 6th generation.
Yeah, because you're smart.
Thank you. But I mean, you look at the baby steps that take you where you're going. You look at, let's just look at taxes. Okay. Look at where we were tax wise in the state of Pennsylvania, living in Lackawanna County in the city of Scranton 10 years ago. Then all of a sudden this is going up 50%. This is going up 3%. This is going up. And all of a sudden, you've gone from a situation where we were giving, 10 to 15% of our income. Now we're looking at 20 to 30% of our income. It's all incremental. This country was founded on the fact that we didn't want to pay a small tax on tea.
It was like 1% or something, wasn't it? Not even
a small tax on a stamp. You look at what's happened in this country, it's no different than what's happened in the rest of the world. Like your background with Ghana and the way that, the haves have taken advantage of the have-nots. It's no different. Like the American story is not the American story that we were sold. The Paul Bunyans and the George Washingtons and the Abraham Lincolns and, chopping down cherry trees. It's not the same story anymore. We've been sold to the highest bidder. And what we think we are is no longer what we are. And, it's a crazy world, and I look at what's happened over the past 18 months. And it's been a real, I've had to kind of take a step back because as a business owner whose business was shut down, the emotional toll and the psychological toll of that was rough. But then you look at what's happened over the summer with all the riots happening all over the country. And then you look at what happened on January 6th at the Capitol. And you look at all of this craziness. And you ask yourself, what is going on? Well, it's because we have the haves versus the have-nots. We have a certain class of people in this country that can get away with crazy things. But if you and I do it, our feet are held to the fire. If you or I go on Facebook and, say to somebody, I don't like what you're doing. If you come after me, I'm going to go out there and kick your ass. But if Marty Flynn goes out and tells somebody he's going to kick their ass, no big deal. You get promoted.
Yep.
It's the haves versus the have-nots. It's no different for him in the Democratic Party locally than it is for Donald Trump on a national level. He said some crazy things too. It's not about good policy or right versus left anymore. It is about this governing class versus the serving class. And it is mind-boggling what's going on. Absolutely mind-boggling. And I think for the first time in a long time, I think a lot of Americans are having their eyes open. Because, sitting here talking to Aja, it's interesting, hearing his perspective on looking at Africa and the most rich land on the whole planet for natural resources.
natural wealth that's already there.
And how it is
labor.
And labor.
And cheap labor.
You look at America. It was blacks that built America.
Yep.
It's period. Everybody knows that. But once again, not to get into.
No, but you're not wrong. It's you can have that argument all day long, and it's a very nuanced conversation. But I think for the first time over the past couple of years, super hyper analyzed over the past 18 months, you've really seen the blinders come off, and you look at what happened in Africa where the natural resources were just taken advantage of. And then you look
These aren't yours.
Yeah, these aren't yours. My wife and I, we work very hard. All the people that work with us at Lavish work very hard. Alex and his business, you and yours, we all work very hard. And yet there's people at the top of the food chain that are taking a certain percentage of that. And in many ways, some good things are happening with it. We're taking care of the poor and the disadvantaged, and we're doing good things. But along the way, there's a lot of politicians and their friends and their cousins and their moms and their dads and their aunts and their uncles and their brothers and sisters that are getting a paycheck in the name of we're doing good socially. And it's this very strange ecosystem that we live in. It's this, we will shut down your business if you don't like it, too bad. We're going to raise your taxes if you don't like it, too bad. And it's this weird disconnect of what's happening between the haves and the have-nots. And I think we're really, in this country especially, starting to see that come to fruition, come to the boiling point of, to be completely honest with you, seeing a lot of what historically America has done around the world in the European empires, the English empires, what they've done around the world. We're now starting to feel that ourselves. And it doesn't feel good.
Not at all.
I'll be real honest. And, there's two ways to approach that. Do we say, well, it's just desserts of the whole situation? Or is it okay, let's all get together and solve this situation? And the only way to solve it is we got to change the storyline. We got to change the narrative. we've got to get rid of the 6 families of Greece that keep doing the same thing over and over and wrapping it around.
It's
the definition of insanity.
I was
Doing
like,
the same thing over and over.
it seems
I'm laughing because, like you were talking about, I was just laughing because I've had this conversation with like a ton of different people, right? And I always tell them, I said, here's another thing, right? So you're talking history, like repeating itself and everything. We know that no kingdom in this world will last. So that is a fundamental truth, right? That's a fundamental truth. No kingdom in this world will last. So, like America, his reign is coming to an end.
Yep.
But the stooges that we have up top don't want to understand that, and they don't want to tell the truth. Because if you could, like with your businesses,
you can keep talking. Micah wants bugles.
Yeah.
No. I just don't want Alex to chew them into a microphone.
So like
I've been telling him. I've been fucking telling him. Like, you know what the Greeks, besides like democracy and shit, they're also fucking rude.
Go on.
Sorry,
So,
Aja.
no, that's right. So like with businesses, right? Like everybody, business owner, if you see something wrong, you look at it and you fix it.
Yeah. It's real
And
simple.
you say, okay, what's happening? How can I change that?
You have no
Right.
choice. Yeah.
But we have these
We'll to do it.
politicians that are not seeing that. Like we could change the narrative in America, but nobody wants to change the narratives. And we have. It's kind of like in the beginning. It's like coming back to like full circle when I talked about when I
Holy
first
fuck, Alex.
Sorry.
when I first came
Jesus
to
Christ.
Scranton.
No wonder why your country
Like,
fell.
I when I first came to Scranton and I said Scranton, what?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you were talking and you said what? And I'm like, the mindset.
Yep.
You still have that old mentality, old mindset, cold mind, all that stuff, and you don't want to listen to new things, right? The world is changing. Things are moving. So as Americans, we got to sit up and say, okay, you know what? How can we change the narratives? How can we be better people? And it is not happening.
It seems to me, right? And I found myself in the last 18 months or 15 months to listen more. And I think it's really important to listen to people. And it seems to me, using Micah's example of the haves and the have-nots, I mean, your country's been, you get it. I mean, you got it way before we did. And it seems to me that, in terms of the haves and the have-nots, let's go back to Biden way. These people who want to have Biden way are people who never stopped getting a paycheck. And it's really easy to tell other people,
Correct.
You can't do that, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do. And that comes from a position of power. And if you're not going to fucking listen to me, here's what I'm going to take away from you, which is now I'm coming from a position of fear.
Yeah.
And it seems like whether it's national, global, Ghana, fucking Istanbul, Constantinople, Scranton, Pennsylvania,
Right.
this is the modus operandi. Because I've never seen fucking politicians, where I go. I've never seen them talk to the people besides fucking Chris Shermack.
Right.
I've never seen them talk to normal fucking people, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They're always, who are they talking to? Rich fucking other people.
We had a
And then what do they do with their rich fucking friends? They sit around and they go, hey, wouldn't it feel nice to change Spruce Street to Biden Way?
right.
And then they talk to somebody in fucking council or the mayor's office or whatever, and they somehow wrap it in a curly fucking bow from fucking Sears. And then next thing you know, all these people who've already been fucked in the ass from COVID, right, down on Spruce Street, who never asked for this, are now going to have to, and it sounds stupid, but they're now going to have to be either A, inconvenienced or take money out of their fucking pocket to fix the thing to make someone else feel good. Now it's their responsibility to make sure that they take out of pocket to make sure that their fucking whoever the fuck represents them feels fucking good, or whatever group of fucking neighborhood is or whatever, And I think it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, the world has changed, and
Did I go too far there?
No, I think
Okay,
you went
good.
right on the right
no,
path. Yeah.
the world has changed. We used to live in a world where the biggest, the strongest, the best fighter was the leader. It was, whoever could swing a sword the hardest, whoever could swing an axe the hardest, whoever had the best technology when it came to steel, and then all of a sudden guns come into play, and it was whoever could shoot the fastest. It's no longer a matter of that. Like, the world of the alpha male is gone. This world is run by he who writes the checks makes the rules. Period.
Yeah, business.
I mean, call me crazy. Is that not the antithesis of democracy in a republic?
It should be.
Completely, yeah.
No. Not whether or not it should or it should not. It either is or it is not. Is that not the antithesis?
So it's very simple, and I'll kind of get into like a personal.
I don't need
level
$100 million to get a vote.
So,
You shouldn't.
Charlie, who's my landlord, my friend, a very successful businessman in the area. Okay, he's never come right out and say this, but we've had these conversations. I write him a check every month. Every month I write him a check. And when it comes to just life, Charlie could, buy me and sell me 10 times over. He's a brilliant man. He's a good guy. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's a good friend. I love him to death. But he has this subtle and kind understanding that I write him a check every month. He works for me when it comes to our landlord-tenant agreement. Mm-hmm. When it comes to me and my employees, and I hate using the word employees, I always like to say coworkers because our mentality is we've all done this together. But my signature is on everybody's paycheck, up to and including mine. So at the end of the day, the buck stops here. I make the rules. Everybody on city council, everybody in the commissioner's office, every Paige in the mayor's office, all of the above, their paychecks are essentially signed by us.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like they have lost sight of that. We have lost sight of that. The people have lost sight of that. There's decisions being made this Biden way. Well, they work for us. It's our call. It's not the few people that are there. It is our call. And so those voices need to be heard. Those decisions need to be made based on the input from the people, from the businesses. But at the end of the day, I feel like we've kind of lost our way. This whole idea of who is truly in charge, who is steering the ship.
From all the people I talked to today, there's this strange fear of retribution, and that's
fucking terrifying
one
to
of
me.
One of the biggest tenets of Scranton, Lackawanna County is that there's this fear of retribution.
Well, it doesn't help when you have somebody like now Senator Marty Flynn,
right,
who, when he was state rep Marty Flynn, and all of our businesses were shut down for months on end, and people were complaining, saying, our Democratic governor and our entirely Democratic state representative body is voting to keep us shut down, and people are complaining. And he says, if you keep talking about how bad we are, we will stop supporting your businesses. You want to make it personal, and we will.
Right.
It's not a veiled threat. It is a point-blank directed threat by our elected political leaders. And you would think that would be enough to disqualify somebody from office. But it hasn't. In fact, it got that person promoted.
Right. There's no misconstruing that statement. One of the conversations I had today, I was like, I love Scranton. Scranton starts for me, Penn Avenue.
But if we could just stop electing terrible people, that would be great.
I agree. It starts on Penn Avenue. Then it moves away into downtown Scranton. Then it moves away into the city of Scranton. Then it moves away into Lackawanna County, the state of Pennsylvania, the United States of America. So what I'm most concerned with is the health of my block. It's good. I power washed my windows the other day. I power washed 3 other stores, whatever. I have a monstrosity of a, ugly storefront across the street from me, whatever. We move on. I want to see downtown do well. I want to see my neighbors thrive on Spruce Street and on Wyoming Avenue and on Penn and Franklin, etc. I don't want to see them, be hurt or, have these obstacles that have been, put in front of them by, the people that they've elected.
Or just new taxes and regulations to say, hey, give us more of your money that you don't fucking have.
Right. Mm-hmm. Gross receipt tax. Like, before you even turn on the lights, Mike, you got to pay a tax. Mm-hmm. You didn't sell this, lovely glass by, that's etched with the city of Scranton map.
Could you imagine if you and I ran our businesses the way they ran this city?
I would apparently be broke. They
we would be
give me
bankrupt.
money. Yeah.
We would be out of business.
Right. But,
because of our poor governance and leadership. And I'm not talking necessarily about the specific people that are in power right
No,
now.
it's
There are
historic.
some people that have inherited some bad situations.
completely.
We're on the parking authority. We know that.
Oh, I inherited garbage.
But the reality is very simple. If we did what the past and even some now current leadership is doing to run this city, run this county,
Handcuffs.
city council, all across the board,
Handcuffs.
we would be in jail
Handcuffs. Yep.
or we would be bankrupt. It would be akin to me saying to my clientele, I've done such a poor job with running my business that I now have to raise the price of every service you get at my business 20%. On the state level, state taxes going up 50%. It's
Wait, what?
insanity.
What?
State taxes
Little
going up
here,
50%.
Little here, little there.
A little bit here, a little bit there, a little.
We're not talking sales tax, but it's. So I had this conversation with somebody about Germany.
It's crazy.
Germany, collectively, pays the most VAT tax and stuff like that.
Value added.
Yes, thank you. When you add up everything, normal American pays, sales tax, property tax,
which is a scam.
Right,
That's another
wait,
story.
that's a different show.
that's a whole
Write it down for the next
whole
one.
new segment.
You don't
When
actually
you-
own your home.
Your automobile tax and your licenses and this and that. When you add all these taxes up, we're paying more than what Germany's paying. And Germany's roads are the cleanest and the nicest and everything.
But then it begs the question:
Yeah.
where does the money go?
Oh, I don't know.
Where does it go?
It's just wastage. That's basically what it is.
But it's hard for me to look. I'm not the sharpest tool in the tool shed, but at least I know you can't spend more than you have.
West Side.
We bleed blue, brother. And at some point, everyone needs to stop going. That's just the way it is.
So,
That's just the way it was.
Scranton's number one saying that's how we've always done it.
so this
That is
The
bullshit.
devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. I've heard this so many elections, even the last election with the arrested, mayor that we had. Okay. I like the other guy.
The ninja.
The ninja mayor, who apparently
I can say whatever the fuck I want about that guy because
Yeah.
he fucking extorted money from people,
there you go.
and he needs an umbrella put
Well,
up in his ass and
Oh,
opened.
completely. So ninja
Come
fraud.
get me, Bill. You're
Yeah.
in fucking jail.
Ninja fraud. All right.
I'll come for a conjugal.
Was the devil we knew.
I don't mean it
okay?
that. I'm sorry. It's a shame on him.
The devil we knew. Ninja Bill was the devil we knew. And what did we get? We got what we expected. You voted it. This is what you wanted because you kept saying the devil we know is better than the devil we don't know. So you're okay with extortion. You're okay with all these things. And then what? They should have burned down City Hall. And everyone's like, oh, they arrested him. Oh.
Yeah, it was like,
I
oh,
guess
did you see
we'll-
what happened? Like, it was
I guess-
funny. It's like, dude, do you know where your fucking money's going?
I guess we'll
There
get
you
a
go.
new mayor. There was no uproar. There was no uproar questioning the single tax office. There was no uproar questioning the treasurer's office in the city of Scranton. There was no
Permit office?
The permit office. There was nothing. They just business as usual. Oh,
Yeah, I mean-
and yes,
We've become numb to it.
right. Our current-
But in some way, we fucking deserve it.
oh, we do. We definitely do. As the majority residents of Scranton, yeah, you deserve it.
Because they tax you, they regulate you, they
Right.
fuck you so much
But-
that you're saying this.
but-
what's the point?
They
I'm
told
so
me-
exhausted I can't go outside. I'm not going to picket. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to call my state rep. I'm not going to call my state senator. I'm just going to take it in the ass. And then what's going to happen? Nothing. And I'm going to leave it for a fucking generation to live in a fucking dystopian
Listen,
fucking dump truck full of garbage.
Is it that, Markie, or do we go back to what happened last summer when you and I had a meeting with a lot of businesses?
oh, that was a good one.
And it's not so much, we're not-
50 fucking businesses.
we're not going to take it or we're upset about it. And you and I wrote a letter. It was a pretty common sense question letter. And we were threatened by multiple politicians within the few days after. It's not about like, oh, we're conditioned or we're just going to take it. It's if you don't do what we say. I mean, this is mafia stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is totally Cosa Nostra.
And we're not
Yeah.
talking national. We're not even worried
We're talking
about
on a very local level.
No, we're talking
We
like a
literally-
20-mile radius.
We
Yeah.
literally, like, again, to go back to it, we literally had a state rep say, if you keep talking about how we're bad, we will come after you
Yep.
on social media.
Always.
So-
And everybody blew it off as, meh.
Now, for people, now I know you want to speak, Aja, but for people who don't fucking understand this, right? Who were the businesses that were closed? Salons, fucking restaurants, gyms, right? What do all of those things have? Occupancy, liquor licenses, whatever your license is for your shit, right? The state could take that away from all of you.
Awesome license.
But the under threat
Yep.
of the state
They
taking
only
away
shut down the things that required a license to operate.
Yes.
They did not shut down anything else. They didn't shut down the Walmart. They didn't shut down the Target.
Not the print
Didn't
shop?
shut down the print shop that was printing political
Do you know
flyers,
why-
by the way, in an election year.
Yes.
They didn't shut down the Home Depot or the Lowe's. They didn't shut down all of those other things. You could go buy a set of patio furniture, 100 people at a time, but you couldn't come into my business and buy one
Well,
Mother's Day gift,
hold
one
on,
person at a
hold
time.
on. You couldn't go to Jerry's for all seasons to buy patio furniture.
Yep.
But you could go to Home Depot.
Absolutely.
And buy
you know
patio
why?
furniture.
Because Jerry's only has a small marketing budget that
Right.
they can give to Governor Wolf. Lowe's and Home Depot have millions.
You couldn't go to Giant Floor and buy carpet or flooring. But oh no, wait. Guess who sells carpet and flooring? Home Depot. Wait, even better. You sell clothes? Fuck that. That's okay. Walmart sells clothes. We're gonna allow Walmart to operate.
Yep.
Because they sell clothes.
I don't
and they sell
understand.
food.
I don't understand. The only reason this is not making sense to reasonable people is that they're unreasonable.
Ah.
I don't understand how everyone is okay with it. I know they want to put their head down,
Nobody-
go along with their lives,
2 weeks of
and not
most-
lose their
most-
fucking minds.
Most people weren't okay with it.
No.
Most people were scared. Again, it goes back to the strongest emotion
Mafia
that can
fear.
sway human beings is fear. Everybody wants to say, take care of your neighbor, take care of the older population, take care of the grandparents, take care of this. Love everybody. Okay. But fear shut people in their homes for a year. Fear shut people away from their loved ones. Fear changed
livelihood.
the world. Fear drove people to choose to go bankrupt
Right.
out of fear, not only because of COVID, but also because of the repercussions of what would happen to you if you didn't adhere to the status quo, the government mandate, the social engineering that had happened due to COVID.
Yeah.
Without naming names, did anybody hear people who were threatened or who were told?
I was.
He was. Yeah.
I was multiple times.
First-
when
We're not talking about the Facebook post. We're talking about
No.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I sent out, after the Facebook post, you and I held a meeting with multiple business owners, and we wrote a letter, and I emailed it out. I received multiple threats within a week, and it was, if you don't stop, if you don't cool your jets, not only will you not get the money that's coming, the CARES money that's coming in October, we will take away your salon license and shut down your business. If you keep asking questions, if you go against the narrative that's being put out publicly, we will shut you down.
So why don't we revolt against these people?
because
because
how it's
what are your
always done.
options?
The four of
I
us sitting in
think-
this
I
room
think you
can say that
can.
all day long, but the general public.
So
okay, let me
so I
put
was
it to you
gonna
very
get to that-
simply.
I was going to get to that point, right? Because, there's something that says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." So if people don't understand what is happening, so that's where you got to get up. That's where you got to get up and you got to start educating people.
Aja,
right?
I don't think it's about that anymore. I think that we have gone, and this isn't Democrat or Republican, but I'm going to use two Democrats to make the analogy. We have gone in a generation or two away from a president in JFK who said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, to Joe Biden, who said, unless you vote for these two Democrats in Georgia, you won't get your free $2,000.
Yeah, I mean that
We have lost the plot.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean that's not I was just talking about my people perish for lack of knowledge. So Joe Biden is able to say that to those people
It's bribery.
because and I'm not saying anybody is dumb or whatever, but they lack knowledge.
At least ignorant. We can
Yeah.
at least say ignorant.
They lack knowledge, and that's why it's so easy. For me, Joe Biden coming to me and saying that thing, I'm like, dude, you're full of shit.
Sure.
Like literally, and that's one of the reasons too. Like you have to understand, politicians don't pander to you and I. They go to the people that they know don't read, they know don't understand. They have no clue what's happening, and they sell to them. And what they do, what they sell to them is what businesses do also. FOMO, fear of missing out. Right? You're gonna be missing out. So they sell that to you. Like, so fear, like you talked about, is big, right? So they sell that to you. If they come sell that to you and I, we're like, man, get out of here. Because why? Because we understand. You read. So you know what's going on. And then you could call them on their BS. But a lot, like the majority of the population, the citizens, they have no clue what's happening. Like, but what we were talking about here, I mean, you look at the average Scrantonian, we are probably going way above some people's head.
I mean, do you think, like, my whole, at my core, and I could be entirely wrong. I just have like this faith that people, that they know. I have this faith that they're like, I don't know. It's like I have this faith in humanity. I have this faith in my neighbor that they're
They
like,
don't know.
The grass is green, the water's wet, the sky's blue. Like those are easy things to understand.
They don't know. You got to be the one.
It seems like corruption around here is like it's like the fucking Kardashians.
You got to be the one teaching them.
That's what it seems like.
You got to be the one teaching them.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what we're doing right now.
What's the old phrase? It's those who would give up a little bit of freedom for a little bit of security deserve neither.
Yeah.
Those people have given up a little bit of freedom for a little bit of security. And at the end of the day, there is no security there.
Here's another thing, right? This area is supposed to get a handful of fucking COVID money, right? A handful. There were a lot of people who suffered during this thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much is going to them?
Mm-hmm. How much is lining the pockets of the politicians?
I heard a really interesting rumor the other night that I mean, if I was wearing a diaper, I would have shit my pants.
Just say it.
There's a borough around here that is supposed to get upwards of $900,000 in COVID relief money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This borough, there was a suggestion made that the borough had suffered. A lot of the business owners and a lot of the residents have been through hard times. Why don't we try to disperse that money amongst them in an equitable manner, like a fair manner? Yeah. If you didn't pay if you're missing up on a tax or whatever, let's say it's worth $1,200, we'll abstain that from your record and we will pay for it. Thank you. Yeah. The government.
Yeah, good job.
They want to make sure that they take that over $900,000 and give bonuses up to $25,000 for every employee that works for that borough. Not to the people, but to the people who fucking towed the line, kept their heads down, said nothing. The people who never once missed a paycheck. We're talking, this whole thing was about saving the elderly and the at risk, right? I can't tell you how many fucking times I saw people over 70 years old at fucking Garrity's, Wegmans. They didn't get these frontline workers that we were supposed, the nurses, did they get a fucking nickel? Did they get an extra fucking nickel from anybody? Did the 70-year-old guy bagging my groceries get a fucking nickel? He didn't get a fucking nickel.
But that's like you're dealing with like capitalism, right? So
that's not capitalism.
I mean, somebody got to make money. So
that's not capitalism when the piece of shit who just writes poetry all day and tries to talk to chicks is getting fucking money while the people putting themselves in fucking harm's way are getting fucking nothing. You tell me how we want equity.
But that's kind of like how
I'm not yelling at you, by the way.
No, I know. That, I mean,
stop writing poetry.
And Mike,
not against people who have poets, but we know those people. We know there's people out there who are like, man, just keep my checks coming. Every fucking business in this town knows it. You know why? They can't get fucking employees. Why can't they get employees? Because the fucking hamster feeder is still giving them fucking drugs.
Andy Gavin's closed on Wednesdays.
T. How long has fucking T been down?
T, psychologically and physically, he's down for the count.
My point on all of this is that, like, I don't think I'm talking fucking conspiracy shit. I don't think I have a tinfoil hat on my head. But at some point, everyone needs to literally let me know when you hear the pop when your head comes out of your ass. This is fucking insanity. And you literally have fucking 4 guys that you're listening to right now who fought tooth and nail as hard as we could to help people. And you know how many how many people we had standing behind our backs? Fucking nobody. Nobody who was willing to go, hey, this is pretty fucked up. We can change this. We don't want to change it with fucking guns. We don't want to change it with fucking knives or cannons. We want to change it at the fucking polls. And then you have these fucking machines that come in who have hundreds, millions of dollars in marketing. I see so many fucking paid for by the taxpayers for fucking COVID, for fucking this, for fucking that. None of us approved it.
Nope.
None of us fucking asked for it.
Nope.
Just like fucking Spruce Street.
Right.
Nobody fucking asked for it.
No.
And all these people, they live in their palatial fucking marble fucking douche canoe fucking houses, and they give nothing to us.
No.
Nothing. We're not asking for more than the person next to us. What we're asking is, don't treat me like a piece of shit.
You know what your legacy should be if you're on council, if you're the mayor?
I quit drinking.
Right. No. I mean, your legacy should be if you're on council, if you're a commissioner, if you're a mayor, if you're, governor, lieutenant governor, whatever. Your legacy should be one of the most successful cities and one of the most successful towns and one of the most successful places. We shouldn't be here right now.
This conversation to me is so fucking science fiction,
Right.
That I can't believe. Like, it's the fact that we're talking about this makes me question reality and think that I'm in a
Right.
fucking Outer Limits episode.
I should be home eating Taco Bell right now, but I'm here.
Home eating.
Today.
You're here eating bugles at the sound of fucking
I'm
speed.
eating Bugles. I'm eating Haribo.
Every time I hear you
Gold
fucking
Bears.
They're Haribo.
every time he
Haribo.
eats a fucking bugle, I feel like I'm right next to the SpaceX rocket.
So
Listen,
today,
so speaking of Taco Bell, I'm going to grab some and go home.
yeah,
Sorry for getting angry,
But-
guys.
now,
No, but Marky, here's the thing. Like, the emotion you just showed,
It's just how I talk. I'm Irish and from West Side.
no, but like you and I have shown that over the past year and a half.
West Side.
At different times, you've been my anchor and I've been yours. Like, that's just how we've gotten through this. And at the end of the day, a lot of people question a lot of things. Like, to my friends on the right, I remember having conversations. They're like, this whole Chaz thing in Seattle last summer,
Right.
when all the riots were happening and the response to the George Floyd killing, and they're like, this Chaz thing, they're terrorists. I don't think they are. I think they're responding to a world in which they don't see a place for themselves.
Correct.
I think that they are responding in a very American way, which is, I don't like the way that my government is treating me, so I'm going to throw the tea overboard and act like a crazy person. It is. Like, I didn't like it, but here we are.
There's an African proverb for that.
Say it.
Go for it.
Because then I'm going
No,
to follow
I mean-
up with something else that you might not like.
I might have.
No, that's okay.
Greek
But
one.
but here's the thing, though, right? So it says the child that is not embraced by the village will burn it down just to feel the warmth.
Wow.
Okay. Let me give you the American version of that, and you can help me clear this up. And I just gave an example of a more progressive, left-leaning version of people who feel disenfranchised by the system. This Chaz in Seattle and the response of black people in America and the generations of being disenfranchised. Then you look at what's happened with white people and people on the right over the past couple of years. And I
Just
remember,
so the right is not white.
yeah. And so
I'm just saying.
I know.
More people,
But-
more minorities voted for Trump in this election than
Oh, you're very
yes.
correct.
or people of color.
But
Sorry.
but I'm trying to make an analogy, which is now ruined by your logic and
All right.
and
I shut the fuck up.
West Side.
I remember a comment. I don't remember who it was by, but I think you told it to me. And it was this whole idea of people wondering, like, how could somebody support Trump? How could somebody like this guy? And it was, they've been told by society, they've been told by the intellectual, modern, progressive element of America, you're not good enough. You're a redneck. You're dumb. You don't believe in these modern ideals. And finally, somebody came along in a Donald Trump and said, I love you. And they believed him. I remember back in a previous
Giving hope to the hopeless.
in a previous career. Let's say it this way: in a previous career, before I got into sales, and I realized I probably shouldn't do counseling anymore. There was
You were a counselor?
yeah, that's what I
To
did
who?
back in the day. And there's a 15-year-old girl in this analogy. There's a 15-year-old girl, and and her parents come into this counseling thing, and they're like, yeah, she's getting wild and she's out of control, and we don't know how to handle her, and she's out, hooking up with this boy and going to parties and just kind of getting crazy. And to the father, it was said, you spent the first 15 years of her life ignoring her, looking down on her, thinking she dressed weird, chasing your own passions, not pouring into her. And some stupid 15-year-old boy came along and said, I love you. And she believed him. And that's why this happened. And then you look at all of those people on January 6th, and you look at the frustration of, I don't see representation. My business is shut down. Just all this craziness is happening. Nobody's listening to me. I feel frustrated. And then all of a sudden, these crazy people start, going to the Capitol and overthrowing it. And to me, it looks very similar to what happened in Chaz in Seattle, and they overtook City Hall on a different level. And yet somehow it's all looked at differently. It's this level of frustration, and everybody wants to say it's the crazy Trump people at the Capitol or the crazy BLM people in Seattle. And at the end of the day, what it really boils down to is these groups of people that don't see representation, and it's the haves versus the have-nots. It all boils down to the same thing.
I think to your point, I think that both sides have way more in common than they're willing to admit.
Well, and therein lies the problem, because when I watched all this stuff happen last year in Seattle, I was like, I might want to send some ammunition out there. Not above it. And then when I saw what happened on January 6th, I was like, ooh, this might be the same thing. We have more in common than we realize. The problem is we're listening to this narrative of right versus left, black versus white. We're listening to this narrative of, liberal versus conservative, and it's not that. It's this ideal of we're Americans who believe in freedom and liberty and being able to raise our families the way we want to, being able to live our lives the way we want to, whether that is I want to be a Christian conservative or I want to be a liberal person, who identifies as transgender. It's no different. We're all the same. It's live your life.
The goal is the same.
The goal is the same.
Let me do just let me be me.
When my son was 2, he used to carry around a wooden spoon. And every time we'd go into the grocery store, I'd be like, you be you, bro. You be you. And literally when we were moving last week, my wife found those spoons.
Don't ever get rid of them.
No, we won't. I'm going to hit them with them when I go home tonight.
Guys, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Should we do it again, or are you going to be nice to me and say no? Did you have fun? At least you got free bourbon. And
it was
Be nice to you and say
It was
yes
amazing.
or no.
It was amazing.
It was.
Like with what he was talking about, he said some stuff, and it just goes back to what I talked about earlier as well. That I said 2 things, right? Remember in the beginning, I said people wants to be loved,
Yep.
and they want to know that they matter.
They want to be listened to.
They
want to be heard.
like, hey, I love you, and you matter.
You don't have to disagree with me, but I just want you to listen to me.
Yep.
That is why we are here, for nuanced conversation, to not just go, I'm not going to, in 140 characters, tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yep.
I'm gonna ritualistically go through why you should fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like, no, literally. Like, I do that with everybody, right? Like,
We need to talk more.
The people that I always tell them, I said,
Talk,
there's a
not
reason
keyboard.
we have 2 ears and
One mouth.
right? So you can listen more.
Because a
Twice
penis
as-
won't fit in an ear.
Mine will. I'm Irish.
Can you cut that out, please, in case my mother listens to this?
So yeah, no. I
What
mean,
if she can't hear you?
So you can listen. You can listen.
You just got it.
Dark
Oh, you
hole.
just got it.
Don't you talk about that dark hole. Listen,
Yeah, so-
Markie, I can't wait to see the 30-second commercial you make out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Excited.
Guys, I had fun, and we should absolutely do it again. And next time, and we're no
I
more.
told my wife I was going to be home like 2 hours ago.
No more bugles.
No more
more bugles.
bugles.
And maybe these 2 could show up on time.
We're
Yeah, that'd be
definitely
good.
going to keep the gold bears. I'm glad Aja was here with his, infinite wisdom of 500 years, and we have the Southern redneck perspective and the West Scranton perspective, and
I'm a global man.
He's
All right.
He's a global man.
Thank you.
Thank you,
folks,
guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah, it was fun.